Hey, this is Chase Sexton. You're listening to the MotoXpod show.
What's up, you guys? Jeremy McGrath here. You are listening to MotoXpod show.
What's up? It's time for another Vital MX MotoXpod show presented by RaceTech and Yamaha Motor USA. With no racing this past weekend, we're going to spend some time tonight on the upcoming Super Motocross Championship starting this Saturday in Charlotte, North Carolina. And we're also going to have a lot of discussion about the recent past weekend Pulp MX Ride Day out at Thunder Valley. It was a really good time. We also have some fun guests such as Rockstar Husqvarna's Malcolm Stewart, who finished his first Pro Motocross Championship Series since 2014. 10 years. 6th overall in that championship. And then we'll have Carter Gray on, who will be racing the 65cc World All-Stars, 65cc All-Stars, World All-Stars, cannot get that out, in Charlotte at SMX. If you guys were watching last year and remember, he was a kid on the Cobra jumping the triple. He's the first one doing it. I know I was freaking out in the press box about it, but he's going to be on the show tonight. Then Ryan Gauld, Gaudi, will join in. He was at the Pulp Ride Day. He's going to talk about some of his highlights, some of the laughs, the good times we had up there. In studio, as always, working the cameras, YouTube chat, all that good stuff. Scotty Thompson. What's up, Scotty?
You a little RV lagged there?
I'm a little tired, yes.
Yeah.
A few hours sleep. I don't know. We'll get into that. Yeah, we're limited on sleep over the weekend.
Yeah. No, I'm glad to be here. Feel good.
Yeah.
Had fun with you guys.
Not. I'd rather get in bed.
Ready to talk about it.
I'd rather just say no
well,
show.
I like our listeners and our show and getting to do this.
I don't care. I'm worried about me. I'm tired. I'd like to go to sleep.
Well, I mean,
our listeners can listen to an old show.
You thinking about only yourself, I mean, that's pretty par for the course. So
yeah, who else is there to think about? Who else is going to think about me? Not you.
I think about you.
No, I don't know, man. We're going to get into all that. Also in studio, once again.
Think about how much of an asshole you are.
Wow.
Just kidding.
Wow.
Sorry, go ahead. In
studio from 710 Designs, Chase Moore. What's up?
What's going on, man? 2 weeks in a row. Can't count on TJ for anything.
Not anything. And we'll get into that. He's part of this trip, too. He screwed us on our trip a little bit. Cost us some money. We'll get into all that good stuff. But at Lakewood this weekend at Thunder Valley is a really good time. A lot of cool people out there. Damon Bradshaw, Weston Pike, Andrew Short, his turd butthole son, Hudson, which we may actually be doing a cold call to Hudson tonight. Steve Mathis, some guy named Steve Mathis, Chris Kiefer, Yamaha Motor USA was out there with Mike Ulrich and the crew. There's a RaceTech rep out there. And, of course, speaking of RaceTech, this is the RaceTech Open Discussion.
Ben LeMay.
Ben LeMay was working the track. But with the RaceTech Open Discussion, we want to remind you that RaceTech is the world's largest aftermarket motorcycle suspension modification company, and they have over 35 years of experience providing factory-level suspension to the everyday rider. RaceTech Gold valves provide a plush feel with drastically improved bottoming resistance and increased traction. All RaceTech products are 100% guaranteed and made in the USA. So before we get into some of the Pulp Ride Day talk, and that may take us beginning of the show, middle of the show, end of the show. We got a lot of fun stuff to get into. But we do have round one of the second year of SMX kicking off this weekend at Charlotte, North Carolina. So we had a press conference today, just kind of going over some of the general topics of Super Motocross, and something that I didn't realize I want to let our listeners know if you guys are planning on going or are going. Friday at SMX is the Fan Zone experience, where it's a separate ticket from race day Saturday. So if you have tickets for Saturday and you're planning on going and then you decide you want to go Friday, that is a separate ticket to get into the Fan Zone. There's all kinds of cool stuff going on during the day. That's when the practice will be. Just be aware, because I had kind of forgotten that topic or that information. So I want to let everybody know. But Charlotte, North Carolina, it's going to be I'm just glad now. Like, I was kind of not that excited about Super Motocross at first. I was like, oh man, it's been a long season, blah, blah, blah. But now I'm like, oh, okay. I'm glad to be back racing with a week off. So, Scotty, what are you most excited about Super Motocross?
To see Jet and Chase battle, see how that goes. Because I feel like that's the most.
Jet and Chase be chasing Eli Tomac.
Yeah, Tomac. Well, I guess just the battling in general. Just see where there's a lot of question marks. So just getting questions answered.
There's definitely. Well, you're right. There are some question marks. How's Jet going to be? Where's he at percent-wise on recovery? How comfortable is he on the 25 Honda?
What is the track going to have big problems for setup? I do hope
that's going to be for everybody.
Yeah, I think out of the 3 rounds last year, Charlotte was definitely the weakest track. Maybe not the race, but the weakest track. So
I feel like that's the drag strip.
Yeah, I don't really like the drag
walls,
strippy thing.
and they were very limited to what they could do.
Yeah, those concrete walls kind of block you in a little bit.
Which makes me worried about Vegas because at Z-Max, I think that was a 4-lane drag strip, and Vegas is probably only 2, so it's gonna be more narrow. I haven't.
That'd be cool if they found a way to at the Vegas to wrap it around the stands.
Yeah,
they come around the backside.
It'd be cool for TV, I guess, but if you're there, you'd be like, "Oh, cool, man! Half the track." Yeah. No, the stands are like at a
shouldn't have gone. I don't know.
Should have gone. Okay, yeah. Scotty says dumb shit. And he's like, "Too bad."
Yeah.
But just with Chase and Jet, that's the biggest question mark. I think is those 2 are the favorites in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And then is Chase going to be dealing with, all right, I just did 2 full championships, series.
Yeah.
I just won a title, and then going into this, how much does he have left?
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting.
I think he wants to beat Jet so bad that I think he'll be okay.
But sometimes I think that hinders him.
Yeah, it can. It can.
I was one of the questions I have is, do we think that with Verdeegen that this would any? I mean, I know going 1-1-1 winning all of them is pretty tall order, but if obviously if he doesn't win this, is it a little disappointing?
To him or
just kind
fans?
of to to what his progress, to what he's achieved, to what he's done.
I mean, he won it last year.
I know. So does he kind of have to? He kind of has to do it again, right? He really needs to defend this.
I mean, yes and no. Yeah, he's expected to win it, I think. But if it's disappointing if he goes 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
If he goes 2-2-2 and somebody goes 1-1-1, is it really?
I feel like
I
don't know. I feel like 2-2-2.
You're saying if he doesn't win the whole thing, it's disappointing. Period, or are you just asking?
Pretty much. Well, yeah. I mean, that's what I'm asking.
It'll be disappointing to him probably, but it's not going to hurt him going forward.
Yeah, because I really think Hymas is going to be very strong.
Yeah.
Levi Kitchen should be very strong. So it's only 3 races. Anything can happen. So I wouldn't say disappointing. No, I would say expected probably or very by most to win, but not disappointed unless it goes really bad, which that's just unlikely, right? But so all right, is Hayden? I'm going to rephrase this for each of you. Who are your favorites, top 3 for? Obviously, not just each round, but the whole series, Scotty.
For the 450s?
No, 250s.
250s.
Since we were talking about Hayden.
I mean, yeah. I would say the favorite. Well, it just really depends on where RJ's at, but I would say probably Kitchen, Hayden, and either Hymas or RJ.
So no Vial, who won the title.
No.
What about you, Chase?
Yeah, I don't have Vial in there. I think I picked Deegan, RJ, Kitchen for the top 3. It's kind of how I see it going. RJ's just coming back. We'll see.
That's really tough because I don't know where Anstey's going to be in Supercross on the Star 250. And I feel
that's a good point.
I don't really know where he's going to be. Jordan Smith was really good during Supercross, minus some crashes and some little things.
That's the story with Jordan. Usually.
Yeah, and then Joe was coming on strong, Shimoda. So I don't really know. I mean, I feel like Hayden's the favorite. I'm going to go Hayden, Levi, Shimoda right now.
There's about 6 guys that could end up on the
Shimoda's
podium.
going to be back?
He got collarbone.
Yeah, but I think he was. I thought he was getting
surgery
to try to race this.
Yeah, he should be able to be back as long as everything went well.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, but he's going to be nursing an injury.
Cody Schock did it 4 days later, and I think he got like a 6.
I was wrong. God.
Sorry, man. I meant to bring you tissue.
Yeah, I used them all up this weekend.
Do what?
I said I used them all this weekend.
Yeah, because I feel like there's going to be some crying once we get into the Pulp Ride Day stuff.
Oh, that'd be weird because I thought we had a great time.
That's what you thought. That's what you thought. So anything else with Super Motocross coming up, or do we really want to we got to do highs and lows and get into Pulp Ride Day stuff, but it's kind of really, does anything really excite you or stand out? 450s, I'm excited about Eli coming back and Cooper coming back, but I do feel, okay, Jet, Chase are the favorites. Top 2, would you say?
Yeah.
All right, 3rd spot then. What are we looking at? Eli, Kenny,
AP.
Hunter, AP.
I'll put Hunter
Cooper
there.
Webb.
I'll put Hunter there. He's super confident right now.
Yeah.
So I think he'll carry that into
That's
SMX.
a good pick.
Well,
I'll put AP.
What do you think about our first guest tonight that's coming up in a little bit? Malcolm Stewart. He's been getting better coming off that knee injury, all year.
I could see him
again. 3 rounds, right? I mean, anything could happen. And I know he's not same as Jason Anderson. A guy like Malcolm or Jason could go out and just surprise everybody with 3 races.
With the point scale, how they jump every round, like it's not out of the question at all.
Yeah.
Somebody have a good 3rd round and jump up into 3rd place.
Yeah.
I think it's triple at the 3rd one. Single, double, triple.
Yeah, you get a podium or something just on the last one. You never know.
You jump up into 3rd place.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna. I'm excited about it. I can't wait for it to start coming up. But all right, well, let's jump to our Yamaha Motor USA top 5s real quick. Yamaha Motor USA, who was also out at the Pulp.
Hollows, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You said
I did
top
fives.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
I do that all the time.
I was making sure you're.
Well, maybe we'll do top 5s.
Either one. I don't know. I got
Maybe
them
we'll
both.
do the TBolt USA top 5s too. No, sorry. Yamaha Motor USA, highs and lows. A reputation for dominance. It doesn't happen overnight. It's built over decades. The YZ story is over 50 years of iconic machines and groundbreaking innovations. Yamaha took the championship winning bikes and made them even better because the best doesn't rest. Check them out at YamahaMotorsports.com or go to your local dealership and see what Yamaha has to offer. They also, if you guys are trying to get into training, their e-bikes, check out Yamaha Bicycles on Instagram or I don't even know what I actually don't know what the website is. I'm sure you could Google search Yamaha Bicycles, but I love their e-bikes. The YDX Moro 7's the bike I've been riding. I got to borrow one at Thunder Valley, ride up to the top of the hill. Things are just amazing. So yeah, Yamaha has a lot to offer. Yamaha highs and lows. Who wants to go first?
Go ahead, Chase.
Highs. The ride day as a whole was awesome.
Okay.
I mean, we went to Glen Helen earlier this year and got to during A1 or whatever, and that was the first time I've really gone outside of Texas and rode. So it was cool just to go do that. Also, not hitting the homeless person that tried to jump in front of the RV going down.
We don't know is homeless. We don't know anything.
I assume.
We'll have to tell that story too. But
I guess.
Not hitting them was a positive.
It would have ruined the trip. Would have ruined the trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lows. TJ missing the trip. I'm just kidding. I'm glad he didn't make it.
That was on my highs. Let me just scratch that out.
Gauld only being there one day too.
Yeah.
Him
was a high or a low?
That was a low. That was a low.
Okay.
Also, those truck stop chicken wings that I ate while y'all fixed the trailer. Those are pretty bad.
Okay. Scotty, you want to go? You want me to go?
You go ahead.
All right. My highs were that I didn't make fun of Scotty. I thought that was really good.
You didn't make fun of me?
Not once. I don't remember anything.
Not one time.
Not one time.
Not one time.
Not a single
Actually,
time.
to be honest, if we're going off of who gave each other a harder time, I was probably trying to razz you more than you were trying to razz me. If I really think about it,
Maybe a little bit. But I didn't know it more than you normally do. I would say that.
Yeah.
I expect it.
Another high was getting the triple at Thunder Valley because that was eating me up since the regional.
It's my clutch performance.
And then just SMX coming up in a little bit this week and the next 3 weeks. A couple more. That's I'm excited about that. I'm also excited about the next round of MXGPs. But those are my highs mostly. My lows are just being tired.
Yeah.
This weekend and Scotty being mean to me.
Yeah. My highs were, pretty much the same. Just getting to go do something like that, meet people that I've, look up to and listen to. And I guess they would be influenced by, because I listened to a lot of Pulp and Kiefer and all that. So meeting those guys, meeting Shorty, watching Turd trying to pass you was one of my highs for sure.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't any trying. He passed me no problem.
He did.
Well, the process of him seeing you, passing you, was awesome. Getting to and then the track itself, I was so blown away by how much of an angle it really is. Like everything's off camber and steep. Like I know this sounds cliche, but seeing stuff on TV really does not. It really doesn't do it justice. Like I know that's the time old saying, but it was cool. It was almost like two different tracks. So experiencing that, and then I guess my lows were, to be honest, I was when we first saw the track, I was a little intimidated, and I was like looking at it, I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna look like a dumbass on this track.
Like me?
Yeah, but then when I got out there and started riding it, I was like, oh, it flows really well, it's good. So my lows turned into a high. But other than that, just being tired. Well, I'm not even mad about being tired because it was worth it.
Yeah, it was.
I'm not mad about it. Just
I guess
it made yesterday.
I guess TJ's janky RV with the having light issue costing us time.
Yeah.
That's Yamaha Motor USA highs and lows. Also, don't forget, go to Yamaha Motor USA's YouTube channel and check out their Beyond the Gate series. It's really cool. A lot of behind the scenes type stuff from their Supercross and outdoor motocross season. I guess I should add lows. We can go ahead and start with this Pulp MX Ride Day stuff. The lows being TJ screwing us, supposed to go along on the trip. Listen, for those of you that don't know, TJ has for years been like, oh, we all need to get together for these trips, and he's always trying to schedule these trips. Let's go to Glen Helen. And he gets mad because our group, sometimes some of the guys always back out or whatever. But then every time we schedule something, feels like TJ backs out. We had this plan to go on this trip. We're going to use his RV. Mainly, I wanted TJ to go for an extra person splitting the fuel, and then he bails. So that means it cost us more money. Yes, he let us use his RV for free.
Wait, how did it cost us money?
He didn't
because it would have been another person to split the fuel.
Oh yeah, I thought you were talking about
he owes us some money.
We didn't put any money into fixing the trailer.
That's not true.
We have an outstanding invoice for the trailer maintenance.
Yes, the trailer lights, the running lights, and the tail lights went out.
It wasn't the trailer; it was the RV. The switch on the RV,
switch, but they weren't working on the trailer. So the 18-wheeler let us know. We pull over, and we spent an hour of our time fixing these lights. Spencer did for the most part.
I was about to say we didn't. You and Spencer did.
Spencer got them working. So he
dry as chicken wings.
We gotta try to stop interrupting. I've gotten a couple messages about that last week. Like I know I do it, but we're all talking over each other.
Yeah.
But we spent an hour fixing the lights. It cost us an hour of our time. That's money. And then the fuel. So TJ owes us. I don't know. We got to figure out how much, but I wouldn't. You said something about returning the trailer and RV tomorrow. I would wait.
Hold it hostage.
Yeah, at least hold one of the generators.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Man, I don't know.
I will go get the RV and bring it to my house.
Imagine us having to do that trip and
he should have Venmo'd us for the fuel.
Imagine having to do that in your truck and tent camping the whole time.
God.
No, honestly, shout out to TJ for allowing us still to use his trailer and his RV. And as much crap, before we really get into the meat of the stories, as I give you all the time, Scotty, hell of a cook. Hooked us up on breakfast.
Yeah.
It was good.
Even though y'all are picky.
Yeah, I am picky. And Chase cooked burgers, so thank you for cooking.
Yeah.
But all right, let's get into the Pulp MX Ride Day. We've got about 10 minutes really before we got to get Malcolm on. We'll get into more of this. But Dave Claybaugh, who owns Thunder Valley, has a great facility. Ben LeMay did the work on the track, prepped it for us. It was fantastic. But let's start with you, Chase. What were some of the highlights of the weekend, some of the stories you want to get into?
Man, just the whole way up there messing with each other. Seemed like every 15 minutes we were cracking up about something. The track, the prep was awesome. I was a little squiddish because I haven't rode a bike in a month, but I still had a great time. Mm-hmm. Man, I like doing stuff like that, meeting new people. Like, as much as I say I don't like people, I like talking to people. So I always have a good time doing stuff like that. Got to take some cool pictures. Like, it was just a fun trip all around.
I was gonna say we were able to camp next to a super fan of Darkside. Yeah. That was fun.
All right. So we get there Friday, right? We get there midday after going to. We stop at Valley of the Gods or Garden of the Gods. I always call it Valley of the Gods. Garden of the Gods.
We seem to disagree on what it was called.
Pretty cool rock formation there in Colorado Springs before we get to the racetrack. But we get into the racetrack. There's not hardly anybody there. Yamaha's there. There's a few other people spread out. We pick our spot, unhook the trailer, kind of get things set up a little bit. We get with Mathis about going to dinner with him and Gauld. We leave for a couple hours and come back, and there's people parked. The whole place is empty, and these dudes parked next to us. No big deal. That's cool. But then, you tell Scotty the story of how that went when we come back, because it was entertaining.
So we come back to the trailer, and we're trying to set up lights and stuff like that. It's getting dark, and we haven't been there 30 seconds. And this guy walks over, and I don't remember the first thing he said, but he
liked my shirt because I had a
the Church of 350,
yep.
And then he quickly realized who you were and that he looked different, and he was
stoked. He was stoked to meet Dark Side.
Yeah,
for sure.
dude, he was fanboyed out for sure. And
he said, "I thought you'd be fatter and dark hair and everything I am." He thought I'd be the opposite, basically.
Yeah.
I was like, "You've never seen a photo of me ever?"
Yeah, it was funny. It was just, well, the funniest part of it was the watching Darkside getting annoyed, which I got to see multiple times this weekend.
At you,
well, it's just funny. It's just
it's annoying me.
Yeah. Apparently, so here's to the chat and everybody. Anybody that's a fan of Darkside and you're around him, don't be animated. Just stand there like a robot and talk. Don't put any kind of movements.
Come on, man.
Don't put any movements into your talking, or else Darkside will.
Chase, help me out here.
No. He was fine.
Yeah, he was fine.
He's a cool dude.
I wasn't really annoyed. It was just funny because everything he said, he had a body movement for.
Well,
it was just.
It was
interesting.
You don't really go out and do stuff like that and just meet people randomly.
Yeah.
So you're not used to it. You know what I mean? You haven't been doing this that long.
Me?
Yeah.
No, I meet people all the time.
No. I mean, just people being a fan of you.
Oh, well, it was entertaining because he was animated. I'm not used to that. Yeah, it was wow, okay.
Yeah, and then the other guy that was parked next to us was a 4-wheeler guy and rode with a thumb throttle.
Yeah.
And
did every jump there?
He did every jump on the track with a thumb throttle. I just saw a picture. I passed Shorty this weekend.
Oh yeah, then he messed up a rut or something.
He was on a 125.
Whoa. I don't know about any of that. All I know
you
is
remember that?
I passed him on the outside. Yeah. That's all I remember. Sure. Yeah, but he got me though, because he was when him and Pike were on 450s, and I got a taste of what it feels like to get roosted by someone that fast, and
it hurts.
It doesn't. Yeah.
Bradshaw lit me up.
I had pulled my tear off 2 turns before that, and then Shorty comes around and just completely covers me up. I had to pull off the track and clean my goggles and go back out there.
Yeah,
but it was fun. But
Friday night dinner, you guys got to meet Steve. Well, you had met Steve Scotty briefly, at racing, but
he didn't remember.
Really got to hang out. But how was that experience for you? Because a lot of people have an opinion of Steve of oh, he doesn't talk to people if he doesn't know you, and he kind of puts on that a little bit, and even TJ's like, oh, he's always kind of, he doesn't really ever talk to me or doesn't really spawn. He's cool guys me or whatever. So how was that experience at dinner with those two?
I think Steve is very scenario based. If we had just been 3 random people that were let's say he was eating in that Mexican food restaurant, and which Mexican food places outside of Texas are not the same. We learned that the hard way.
Well, people in California will say that too.
Well, okay. Well, I'll give California credit. Yeah. Okay. Anyways.
Yeah, I got you. It's their Tex-Mex was not the same as our Tex-Mex.
So if we had just happened to be there and saw him, and then say we weren't with you, we just saw him and went up and talked to him while he was trying to eat, it probably would have been a different experience. He'd have been yeah, maybe cool guy, does it a little bit.
I'll defend him on that though, because if I'm eating dinner, I don't want anybody to come talk to me.
Exactly. But or even not that scenario. But the fact that we were with you and it was hey, Steve invited us, and in that scenario where we were all 5, it was just it felt like I'd known him for years. Just talked to him. He was.
But he was interested, right?
Yeah,
he asked questions.
He's a super cool dude.
He involved everybody at the table. It wasn't like he was just focused on you or focused on Gauld. He made everybody feel like they were part of the conversation. And it was hearing some of the stories, listening to him talk about how they ran out of gas was funny. And then just you could tell that him and Gauld had spent 9 days together. So that was entertaining as well.
Yeah, so, okay, then Saturday morning we wake up and, breakfast, and we get to start the ride day going. Kiefer shows up, right? Mm-hmm. You guys get to meet Kiefer a little bit. We get out on the track. So we only got about 5 more minutes. So let's just start with riding Saturday. You guys didn't want to go out right away. It was a little sloppy.
Yeah.
But first couple laps on the track, you were shooting photos, Chase, but for you, Scotty, what? Because I've rode the track before. So what was it like? what were your initial thoughts once you were actually on the track?
Man, it happens. Everything was kind of a blur because it happened so fast. But like when I first pulled on, I was like, all right, I rolled and took my time. And then luckily y'all came around and I followed y'all. And I know that I'm about, we're all kind of close enough in speed where we can follow each other. So once I followed y'all, it made sense. But like the track you see on TV, the track you see standing at the bottom, and then the track when you're actually riding it are three completely different things. Like you forget how off camber stuff is, and hitting that triple was fun. Like that's probably one of the gnarlier jumps that I've done. Mm-hmm. Like it's up there in the top. I've done a couple big ones, but yeah, it's straight up, and like I did not make it the first time.
Oh yeah, okay. So well, first I went out and I jumped everything except for the triple the first lap. And you said that. Like I just wasn't. I felt comfortable because I'd already rode it, so no big deal. But the triple took me a couple sessions.
I think you did it on the third one.
Yeah,
I think it was the third one, and I got it down, and Spencer had already done it. He did it before I did. Mm-hmm. So we came in and you were like, okay, I'm doing it. So we all go out back to back to back. I jump it. Spencer's 6 bike lengths behind me. He lands about the time I'm coming off the thing, and I know you're third and going for it. So I look back, and all I see is. Oh, it's like from where I'm at, I'm like, he is not going to make it. And he completely frames the thing. And like, this is one of those frames where, okay, if you're off balance at all, you're going sideways, you're coming off the bike. And thank God you just seem to happen to be completely straight.
Yeah.
And you just
I knew
straight
it
over.
was coming.
Because
I definitely saw God for a second.
yeah, it was like, I mean, I just started riding. I'm not going to the hospital, dude. If you're out, you're on your own.
Yeah, all those thoughts flashed before my eyes right as soon as I take it off. Because, I was following y'all, and then I was like, all right, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. But another kid came to pass us as we were doing it, and it kind of distracted me. Yeah. And I didn't really focus on, like, where it was at in the jump. I was just like, I'll just follow him, and I'll just hit it, and I'll be okay. And I was not carrying the same speed that he was. When I came off the face of it, all I saw was landing, and I was like, yeah, this isn't good.
Yeah,
but,
and, of course, I was riding the 350, so I wasn't quite as comfortable doing it either.
I mean, it's definitely a big jump. I shorted it a couple times. I over jumped it a couple times. I greased it a couple times. It was fun. It was cool, but like definitely appreciation for when you get to ride with guys like Kiefer and Bradshaw and Pike and Shorty, and there was a lot of other, like, I don't know a lot of other names, but there was some really fast guys out there, and just like being on the track with them and seeing that, it's like it's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
because like you feel like you're. You finally get into a groove and you feel like you're riding good, and then like Kiefer or Shorty or somebody comes by and just like, all right, we'll see you later. That was fun.
Yeah, there was at the on Sunday at my last session out, there was a guy that was going about my speed, and we were both. I felt wide open going up the first uphill, the long one. He was all the way on the inside. I was all the way on the outside, and I was like, I'm not letting off till this dude lets off, and we're going as fast as we feel like we possibly could, and then some guy went between us at Mach, whatever the fastest Mach is. And I was like, what just happened? Like,
who was it?
I don't know. Somebody.
There was a couple pretty quick dudes.
It didn't make any sense. I was like, my throttle is wide open.
Yeah.
It must not have been, but it felt like it was.
The first guy that went on a track was on a KTM 300.
Yeah.
And you could tell it was deep, and dude, and he was fast too. It sounded so bouncing off the mountain.
Yeah. It sounded
awesome. It was I had just as much fun like watching like the stories develop, seeing some of the guys ride, and like Bradshaw and Pike battled for a while, and Shorty and Pike battled, and like seeing all that was just seeing how many fast people were there was cool.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Chase, you did it at the very end of the day on Sunday. You're like, I'm not going home without jumping the thing, even though you're on 250. You nutted up and finally got it done.
If I went home and didn't do it, or at least jump it. I knew I knew I could get as far as Scotty did the first time when he kissed it. So I was like, if I just hit it straight, I'll probably be okay.
Yeah. I don't know, man. That took a couple years off my life,
dude. It was everything that 250F had with me on it at like 225 pounds.
Yeah.
So
it was cool.
A great time, man.
I know we're about to have our first guest on. What I wanted to just say, thanks to the Thunder Valley crew. Like, they worked real hard to make that place awesome. They were there, very supportive, very cool. Then thanks for Steve for having us out there.
Absolutely. Our first guest of the night's on the line, though, so we'll get back to the Thunder Valley Ride Day stories. He's going to be brought to you tonight by Guts Racing. Andy Gregg and the Guts Racing crew continue to provide the best seats and foam available If you want the same seats used by Rockstar, Husqvarna, Hep Suzuki, and many more, then you need Guts Racing. They have numerous color possibilities, staple or Velcro installation options, wing seats, and the best foam in the business with the Phantom Ultralight Seat Foam. And don't forget, they have complete seats for the Talaria and the Super 73 and covers for the Sur-Ron and Segway, and they strive to ship orders within 36 hours. So visit gutsracing.com today. Tonight, Guts Racing brings us from Rockstar Husqvarna, Malcolm Stewart. What's up, Mookie?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Not a lot, man. So I want to ask you this. We had the guys in studio and myself had the chance to go to Thunder Valley this weekend for the Pulp MX Ride Day and go ride with Steve and Chris Kiefer, Damon Bradshaw, Andrew Short, Weston Pike, all there. And we were all, the goal for all of us was to jump the triple on top of the hill, not the one coming up the hill, the first one. That's a booter, man. I mean, for you, it's nothing, but for us, that's a big freaking jump.
Oh, man, dude, there's some big jumps that were at Thunder Valley that I don't remember racing when I was there. I was like, we actually supposed to jump these things? I thought Morocco Leap was the biggest jump in the outdoor nationals, but I guess not.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, I mean, dude, I still to this day, I don't like blind jumps. It's hard. That's a big blind one, and you just got to be smart with it, I guess.
Yeah, I had raced there a couple months ago for the Loretta's Regional, and I never jumped it. Like all weekend, I was like, I got to do it, and I just never did. So all the way home to Texas, and for the last 2 months, that's been on my mind. So my only goal going was doing it, and it took a few sessions before I finally went for it. And I had that, I don't know if you ever get this the first time you jump something, but like I'm going, fuck, all right, I guess I'm doing it. And just I went over the roller, and the whole time I'm like, I don't want to do this, I want to do this, I guess I'm doing it. And I'm just terrified. And then I made it, and I was like, no big deal. But it's the worst feeling in the world to me, jumping something like that the first time.
Yeah, actually, I wasn't. I mean, that one was. That was a big one. The one I was really more scared to jump is kind of like the one that's located in the middle of the track ish on the. There was one on the race. It was another big triple step up that was pretty.
Yeah,
we didn't do that one.
Scary.
It's after that one, right? You go down the hill and back up.
That one. Yeah, that was a little suspect on me. I ain't gonna lie, dude. I was like, I do not want to jump this one. I don't know why, but that one had me shook a little bit.
Well, and they beef them up for you guys. Like they're tamed down for the regular races, but so I can't even imagine. But anyway, let's get to you, man. 6th overall outdoors this year. Your first full outdoor season in 10 years. Now that it's over, like 6 is great, right? But just tell us about your season, how you feel about getting it done, coming out of it healthy. Are you glad you did it?
Yeah, no, actually, I'm glad I did it, and more so is I had fun, going into doing the whole outdoor season and doing it, and more so I say I had more fun was because like seeing the fans and stuff, and a lot of fans that I haven't seen, being at different like atmosphere. It's always that, I'm so used to racing it, typical around 8:30, 9 o'clock at night and stuff like that under the lights in the stadium, out of stadium, whatever. But it's just good to have that quick change. And I didn't realize how fast paced outdoors is. I mean, you get there, you show up, you're there at, 7 a.m. in the morning, and next thing you know, you're done at, 4 or 5 o'clock, and you're on your way to the head of the airport or whatever. It's like, it's just such a fast pace and so different. But again, back to circle on that, as like I think the fans part was more for me just to get that enjoyment and seeing different fans and the welcome back Mookie and stuff like that. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, we know your training partner Aaron Plessinger is probably a fan favorite, right? But I think the fans were equally as excited to have you back this season. I heard that a lot from people. Just so great to see Malcolm back. It's so exciting. It's been so long.
Yeah, no, it was great. It was great. And I mein, I gotta lie, there was a few races that I was like, dude, I'm hurt pretty bad after the second moto, cramping up, I was like, I don't miss them stomach cramps at all, dude, leaving the track. But for the most part, like it wasn't like super, super hot. If it did get hot, most of the time it got hot at the second moto, but like, a lot of the riders are talking like Southwick last year was like brutally hot, and this year was actually pretty cloud cover. So I'm like, I'll take this one. But for the most part, everything was going fairly well. And yeah, ended up P6 overall in the outdoor points. That's great, and getting away healthy. And the next, we we do these super motocross to try to recoup some of that money
Yeah.
that we spent all season long, and yeah, so hopefully we break even.
Yeah, Malcolm, it was a couple of weeks ago we had one of your teammates, Casey Cochran, on, and he mentioned that one of the tracks he was asking you about the dirt or something like that, and you were like, "You're asking the wrong guy, man. I haven't done this in 12 years." So it was funny to to hear that, and then to see you progress this season. I've not been that long of a gap, and then getting better throughout the season. At what point do you feel like you peaked, and what did you kind of have to relearn to do the full outdoor season?
I think for me it was more so just, learning that, like inside, outside, maneuver. The track changes so much in the outdoor. I mean, you got pretty much double the guys almost in versus Supercross, and you have so many guys that are just willing to give it everything they got in outdoors, dude. Like, I'm saying like it's not easy or anything. Both require technique, but dude, like there's some guys out there that were going around the corners. I'm just like, how in the world is he doing this? Like, and I thought that was kind of fun. So you just kind of like relearn, and of course, nobody wants this, but you get a bad start and you're charging through the pack and stuff like that. Like it has to suck, but at the same time, like I kind of looked at this as I need all the gate drops I can get, and just to kind of get back in that race mode. But as far as a peak problem, I mean, my best race is basically 2 races to go at Budds Creek. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's so hard to say like on a peak performance on a part, because like I felt like for me, like my races got tremendously better towards like more to like mid to the end of the season.
Yeah.
So I think more so is more of like just learning the bike. We made some small adjustments with the bike and things. And again, like unfortunately, like I didn't race outdoors last year, and of course my teammate Christian Craig at the time got hurt as well. So it just kind of like none of us really had much data, right? Mm-hmm. So we were kind of just trying to bounce off of the KTM group and things like that, and just try to learn as much as we can. But you and I both know not everybody races the same, and everybody rides different. So you have to kind of fine tune a little bit. But for the most part, I think we got majority of it a lot better, and that's why the results, I felt like I would say the results, but I felt like I was actually riding the bike more better. Yeah, the results may have not changed as much, but me personally getting more comfortable was better.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense that when he says your peak, your peak might not be your best result, right? It might be the best how you felt. So yeah, I
was going to say something like that. It's funny how the riders, they always like, well, my best is my best result, but sometimes your best result doesn't mean that you rode the best. So yeah. It all comes down to the results, right?
Yeah.
So going over to Baker's Factory, you've obviously slimmed down a little bit. How are you feeling day to day? And do you think you would have done as good on your old program outdoors this year?
I mean, obviously everybody knows me. I think it's more of a whole program more so than anything. The few times that I've been on different programs where there's trainers or different teams, it's never really been in a phase of like I've been able to be in Florida at my home, see my family and things like that. It's always been, if it's California or just in areas that, you may not exactly want to be, but those are sacrifices that you got to make. And to be quite fair, I think more so just the mentality of change and kind of helped me out more than anything. And sometimes you want change, and sometimes I've always been wanting to be able to have my home base back in Florida, to see my family and more closer on that side of things, instead of being kind of like stuck in California and you're just like you're by yourself, right? And you're just like, man, I'm just out here just doing the laps, and then eventually it kind of gets old. But I think that was like my biggest thing. And of course, training with Alden, he has a phenomenal background of his whole story, training my brother and things like that. So I had a little bit more of a personal thing with Alden than some of the other riders did. But yeah, I mean, of course, training with Alden, there's no doubt about it. He's definitely going to work you and things like that. But I also have a lot of fun with it too. And I think what makes like everything more fun is when you're with the group. If you're with a group that likes to put the same effort in you are, but not saying we're not serious, but like we are serious, but we're also having a great time. Like Christian Craig, I've known for a while himself from past teams. RJ Hamsire, the same thing. Wilf grew up in Dade City. We've been riding to Dade City MX all the time. And Aaron Plessinger, when we were training with we were on another trainer. We've had mutual trainers as well, and he's also came down to the compound whenever he was younger and things like that. So a lot of the group that I'm familiar with, we've had past history. So that's what makes the group fun, So that's what's the cool part about it.
Yeah, being happy goes a long way.
Yeah. Malcolm, we didn't really get a chance to talk to you before outdoor started. So I want to know, honestly, now that it's over, what your actual honest goals were coming into the season. Did you meet your goals? And do you feel, even if you didn't necessarily meet your goals, did you feel the outdoor season was a success?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I wanted at least, my goal was, I was like, dude, I gotta have, I would love to have at least one top 5 at least,
Okay.
I was like, we're so, and not even in a way of, just more so of, try to set the bar, as a reasonable, and don't get me wrong, those front runners, those guys are rolling, what I mean? But at the same time, I was like, I feel like any given day, there could be a possible opportunity where I could be there, but everything's just got to work itself out. But I also want to kind of give myself an edge where because I feel like sometimes if you set the bar way too high, and I'm just being real with myself and some other riders, you set the bar too high and you never achieve it, you just kind of give up on the little things that could happen, right? And I felt like if I get to this stage, I can be like, all right, I got here, now I can work to the next goal. Well, if you always just say, I want to win a race, win, and then now you don't even get the podium, now you're just like, okay, well, what am I going to settle for?
Yeah.
So I always just felt like if I just kind of, I mean, again, everybody looks at their own ways of how their tactics, but I just wanted to say, you got to at least knock at the door before you hit the big one, right? So if you can consistently get closer to these top 5s, and then you work on the podiums and then goes from there. And everybody knows if you're a top 5 player, dude, there's no ifs, buts about it. Or I would say even a top 7 rider, any given night you can win a race or whatever. Dude, the race has been so crazy this whole year, so it's not it's just only been predominant one only guy. It's it's been pretty gnarly. So that's kind of how I look at it, just in a different perspective. But you got to kind of pat yourself on the back sometimes, because you can beat yourself to the ground.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to. If you start feeling like you're failing, you'll never. It'll mentally wear you down. That's exactly a good point. I want to ask you this then. Let's jump ahead. We are jumping ahead 8-9 months. You're on the same team. What's the goal next year outdoors? What do you need to do to make the next step to, let's say, get a podium and 4 or 5 top 5s? What's that next step?
I think I would like to at least start being more consistent on the top 5. And once I start getting more of those, I think podiums will come right after that, because I feel that a guy that's consistently top 5 will get podium.
But how do we do that? What's the step to get there?
Well, first we gotta come out the gate. We gotta at least be. I mean, I ain't gonna sit here and lie, man. I ain't no chase section. I ain't just gonna come from the back, man. I ain't got it like that. But I mean, that was one hell of a ride by the guy. But we got to start up front. We want to be up there, and that's obviously the main goal for that. But yeah, I mean, 8-9 months from now, dude, that's a heck of a long time. But at the end of the day, we're gonna give ourselves everything we got.
All right, fair enough.
Hey, Malcolm, going into the SMX playoffs, do you think that because you're able to do all of the outdoors, that it kind of gives you more stock going into this SMX playoffs, and do you have more confidence than maybe? I don't know if you did. You did it last year. I don't remember if you were.
No,
you didn't.
I was hurt all last year.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So does it give you more confidence going into the playoff system this year?
I think it's more of, I look at it as another opportunity to continue racing, and also another opportunity of obviously to make money and build confidence, but having a lot of lot of good confidence coming off the outdoor season going into SMX. And I think I'm more so of feeling better versus some of the guys that haven't been racing outdoors a little bit, and you're not really sure where you fit in, and some guys jump in, jump out, but nobody can replicate racing, right? And no matter how good you do or whatever, like, I just think having that race, having those races under your belt is only going to help you. You're not going to, I feel like I'm not going to just go out there and just like blow my wad first, like, within the first half, like, because I'm already feel like I'm in race shape, right? If that makes sense.
Yeah. Plus the getting ready for that pressure of the, riding for the purse that you guys are. That money talks, man.
Dude, I know. And it's like, it sucks to say, like, it's kind of a double-edged sword. Like, I honestly feel like it's a phenomenal opportunity for everybody to make money, but I also feel like there should be more than just one round at the end of the season. I feel like there should be one that's like, I feel like there should be three, and just like maybe one, in the outdoor somewhere, one Supercross, and then you have one at the end, where there's an opportunity. So not just, one, but I feel like, man, there's so much money on the line that it can get nasty. It can get real nasty, and some hurt feelings are probably going to be at the end of it. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting, of course. This will be our first one. So, I mean, of course, I can give you how I truly feel at the end of it. But I just know that I'm going to give it everything I got. So, because I got some gas money I need to maintain for the off season. You feel me?
Yeah. Oh, and at least Anderson's distracted with the Lawrences now. You don't have to worry about y'all taking each other out this time.
Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, Malcolm Stewart brought to you tonight by Guts Racing. I think I saw it. You're selling your boat, so yeah, you must need some money, Malcolm. I don't know. You better go out and podium this thing.
I know. I was selling the boat to get a bigger boat, Bob.
Oh, okay. well, in that case, you need to go win this thing, man. $500,000.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what he's waiting on. Yeah.
Go
ahead. Yeah. No, it's again, man. Sometimes you just go out there and you just want to sometimes you want something a little bit bigger, and that's what sucks. Like about fishing, it's like the boat ain't big enough. They always want bigger and more and more and more. But there's always the price you're going to pay for it.
Yeah.
So you were involved in one of the gnarlier wrecks I remember on video, where you were scrubbing and caught that other dude's back wheel. I don't think I've ever heard you actually talk about it. Who was that, and what was the aftermath of all that?
Dude, that's one of my best friends. It was a situation where it's hard to say, but sometimes when you jump a jump, and the angle of the landing has more of a lean angle, so you kind of have to jump more. So if you jump into the left of something, you kind of have to land. You're going to end up landing on the right, so you have to kind of weight the pegs a little bit more. And at that time, dude, I went and I realized that he was coming to the left-hand side of the jump, and I just had way too much speed going, and I had way too much weight on the right of the foot pegs, and it just shot me right. And I tried to whip to try to get that out of there. Just bad timing. It was obviously a dumb mistake that I made, and both of us, thankfully, never got hurt of that. We may have knocked the wind out of ourselves a little bit, but actually nothing was broken bones. A little stoved up, but it was a pretty gnarly deal. But at that time, it was one of those things that we're just thankful that we never physically got hurt.
Yeah, it's crazy to hear that neither one of y'all got hurt.
Yeah, honestly, I think the good Lord was looking out for us, so that's probably how it settled. So we went to Sonny's barbecue after that, actually.
Did you buy?
I buy. I said sorry for killing you.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, here you go, bud.
You want some extra barbecue sauce, buddy?
Yeah, here, give you. It's on the house on me, man.
Yeah. I've got a couple more outdoor questions for you real quick. You mentioned this in jest a little bit ago, when Chase came through the pack, right, at Hangtown. Look, all of us, we go to the track, and there's our local pros, how does a guy go that fast? And then there's always somebody faster, right? When a guy like Chase at the top level, and you're out there racing your heart out, and you're one of the best riders in the world, but a guy like Chase comes from dead last to first, do you kind of just go, that doesn't make sense?
Man, honestly, I feel like, I haven't came from dead last, but I felt that everybody has their groove at some point when they're racing, and that was his moment. When if it's Supercross, outdoors, it don't matter, but as a rider, and sometimes and some people can probably relate this as riders, or maybe you guys yourself as well. Like, when you crash in the first turn, you realize that you got nothing to lose, right?
Mm-hmm.
At that point, right? There's no like, I need to do this, I need to do that. It is all like, I have to do everything I can to get back up there. So you forget about I'm tired, I need to hit this corner better, or this and that. Like, all it kind of goes away. It's almost like those nerves go away, and then you end up riding better. And I think that's like sometimes that what happens. And at that moment, that's exactly what happened to him, right? He kind of felt that in a way of like, I got nothing to lose. I'm in my groove, and I'm just, picking through the pack. And on top of that, not to mention his rider that he was pretty much battling against, he watched him crash out pretty much in the very first moto. Mm-hmm. So this has changed opportunity to gain back what he lost, in maybe the first round or so, or the first round. So if I'm him, like, that's kind of, and all just played well. And he was riding the track very well. Everything was clicking for him. And we all know, like, when you feeling, like that, you feel like you're unstoppable. So, again, hats off to him. That was a phenomenal ride. There's a reason why he's the champ. He stayed in it. He was healthy all the way through. And we're talking, we're all one of the best riders in at least in America. I mean, don't get me wrong, those boys over there are fast. Don't get me wrong, them boys over there, the GPs are fast too. But again, it's great to be out there and race with those guys at the top level.
Absolutely. All right, my last outdoor question. I've got just a couple more for you. Now that the season's over, outdoor season. What was the most difficult point of your outdoor season, and what was your highlight? If maybe it was your fourth, that you tied your career best, but maybe it was something else.
I think the toughest one for me was Millville. I couldn't stay off the ground, dude. I couldn't stay. I don't know what it was, what monster wanted. I don't know if he's still alive or not, but that boy was coming out and he was trying to get me. I don't know what it was, dude. Like, I crashed like 3 times. Like, I crashed 3 times in 2 laps, and I was like, dang it, dude. Like, what is going on? And, but dude, and then it started raining, so that didn't help.
Yeah, right.
So I was like, dude, I just need to get off the track, bud. I just need to get out of this race and go home. But I would say that one was a pretty tough one. And then I had one that was like, I was absolutely by myself to the point where I was like, and it was, I remember it was at where was this track at? Mount Morris. It rained that morning or last night or whatever, and it was a pretty ruddy track, and typical like Mount Morris, it's always pretty gnarly there. And anyways, I was rounding around like 7th or 8th by myself, dude, and like it was to a point where I felt like the race was like 3 hours long. I couldn't see my pit board. I missed the halfway somehow, and I was literally like in no man's land. Like, didn't know what was going on and didn't know who was behind me. But I mean, thankfully it was a pretty big enough gap. But I didn't know who was who. Right. So that was like the only one. I was like, the race was sick, but it was an easy. I would say nothing's easy, but like it was like a set. I think I got 7th, but it was like I come off the track and I wasn't even like huffing and puffing because like I was by myself the whole time. I didn't know who was. Couldn't see nobody. There was, and everybody knows Mount Morris is like, it's not a track where if you lose a rider, like they're far enough ahead of you, you ain't seeing them no more. Like they're gone. Like so, nice. But yeah, that was that. But I guess I'd say the highlight, I guess for me was Budds Creek. I would say Budds Creek was great motivation. It was fun. I had a good battle. I mean, dude, honestly, but like besides like Millville, I would say I had a lot of like fun ones. Like they were like fun times. Like I had a lot of great time being at the races and riding and in the racing part of it. I had for the most part, like this is probably, at least I can say, remember I haven't had too many outdoor seasons in my career, but this is probably one of the ones that I could say I had the most fun.
Glad to hear that. We just got a couple more for you.
Yeah, Malcolm, was there any points in the after one of the motos where you and Christian just kind of looked at each other and was like, "Oh man, we're getting old," kind of thing?
Iron Man, dude. The second moto Iron Man, buddy. I thought I was like, I don't know if I can keep doing this one because this was pretty hot. I was pretty hot. I never forget. I have a mechanic on the back, and he, dude, I was so hot. He put the water on me, and I was like, I didn't even feel it. Like it was like I was past hot, you know. But that's that hair that was kicking in. The hair is trying to tell me you need to cut it, but I ain't gonna. I'm too stubborn. I ain't cutting it, dude.
I hear you.
So I done made it this far through the whole season. I ain't cutting it. I ain't cutting it on the last one. So, but no, it was. Yeah, I mean, there's a few of me and Christian were laughing, and then to also circle back with you earlier when you spoke on Casey Cochran, and he asked me about a few tracks, and I'm like. I look at him, I say, hey, you need to go to the other truck where Christian's at because he has way more experience on the outdoor track than I do because you're asking the wrong guy, buddy.
Yeah.
So you're asking the wrong guy. So, but yeah, but he had some good outdoors this year as well.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I got a feeling they could make a Three Stooges motocross spinoff with you, Jalik, and AP. I'm sure it's pretty funny down there back when you were all training together. Do you have any good, like, funny stories with them?
Yeah, I mean, I think, of course, with me and Jalik, he's a funny character. We playing Xbox as long as as well as me and AP. We all be sitting there playing Xbox and having some typical Call of Duty wars and stuff like that. But I think the funnest thing is when we between like me, RJ Hampshire, AP, and Christian Craig, we were doing a fantasy last year, and it gets personal. Like I think like it gets like it does get personal, and the funniest thing is like I don't know why, but me and RJ Hampshire, like we have the biggest egos when it comes to the most dumbest things in the world towards each other. Like for instance, today I'm sure somebody may have saw it, but we had a 40-yard dash, right? Today. Don't know why this came up, but you know, RJ was like he's a great runner and things like that. He's a great runner in training on that side of things. Me, I'm not. I'm flat-footed. I'm run heavy. My heart rate's really high. You know, I'll just be straight up with you. I'm not a great runner. You know, long distance. But when it comes to that foot race, that sprinting, you know, that now we can talk. Well, that 40-yard dash, that's all me. So anyways, RJ is, you know, we talking smack, you know, and Christian was, I don't know why he was doing a 40-yard dash anyways somewhere when he went. I don't know why he was doing a 40-yard dash on his weekend off. Now, I don't know. Maybe he was racing somebody else for some bet money. Who knows? But anyways, so Christian was like, oh, you guys should do a 40-yard dash. Well, so we sat there, we're all getting dressed, getting ready to ride, and you know, RJ starts running that mouth. He's like, oh, mouth, I got mouth, this and that, mouth. Well, I said, that's it, bud. When I get done, I said, that's it. I'm taking the jersey off, taking the pants off, and knee braces. I'm ready to go. I ain't even going to get all the way undressed. I'm leaving socks on. So we went out, and RJ was running barefoot. This is how serious we are. We're running barefoot. We ain't got no shoes on. That boy, if we slip, the toe's gone. You know, like, you know what I mean? No thought into it. But and the best part about it is Alden Baker's out there timing us, right? Like he's giving us like this is our motivation. And yeah, I pulled up, dude. I had a 5 flat, dude. I thought I was gonna be a little faster than that, but I beat him. I had plenty of room to spare. Yeah, that's all that matters. But anyways, so we were kind of like, man, maybe AP. You know, because he's a little taller, you know, strides and things. And actually, he come to find out to be the slowest one out of the group.
Yeah, is that how he really runs?
I'm right there with AP.
Dude, I think I don't know. He looked like he had like spikes under his legs when he was trying to run. I don't know what he was doing, dude. He's kind of pissed. Like he kind of was pissed. Like I want a rematch, and Alden was like, yeah, nope. Next Tuesday you get your next match, so you're gonna have to so everybody's gonna have to start tuning in like next Tuesday. my goal is, again, I don't really care how I finish as long as I beat RJ. That's really all that matters.
That was going to be my last question. Let's talk about your recent your win. But yeah, you won. That's great. So I got one more for you. We'll close this thing out then. Usually people ask you what's the best advice you got, blah, blah. I want to know what's the worst advice Big James has given you.
Whoa, worst advice? As a father, sorry, that's my dog.
Right.
As a father, he hasn't really given me any crazy advice. In the time, he hasn't really given me anything bad. In I would say, but actually, you know what? I mean, he's tricked me a lot. I never forget the little square batteries when you used to put your tongue on it. Hey, that's the worst thing he's probably ever done to me. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably like the worst thing he's ever done to me. Besides that and some ass whoopings, but that was probably like the worst. Not cool. Lost a little trust in my father, whenever I put my tongue against the square battery. But yeah, other than that wasn't cool. He lost some brownie points with me on that one.
That's awesome. All right, Malcolm, thanks for so much of your time tonight. Good luck this coming weekend at Charlotte. I'll see you at Fort Worth. But yeah, good luck and great talking to you.
I appreciate it. But I just want to let everybody know I left today with a W.
Yes, you did.
Everybody know that, okay? I left today with a W. It's on social media. You can go there, click it, double like it, triple like it, comment, say, you know what? Mookie's number one. Like, there's a possible opportunity. Like, it was so bad. I'm going to keep going with it. I had to look to see where I would fit in the NFL. Like if somebody wants to hire me, like I'm a big Raiders fan. We're probably going to do good this year. It just sucks to say, but as a Raiders fan, like if they need me, like I'm kind of like I could probably fill in the off season. Like maybe October or somewhere. If they need somebody, I could probably go out there and just tackle somebody for a quick second, but and it pull me off. But I was looking. I'm somewhere in the DB area, not very fast. But hey, at the end of the day, I'm on the list. I made on the list. Now the other boys, they're not on the list. They're bench warmers. They're bench warmers.
Nobody's hiring Aaron Plessinger with a run like that.
I gotta go watch this.
Sorry. Nah, he's still got spikes under his foot.
Yeah.
AP's run is better than Pastrana's, though. I'll give him that.
I don't know. I've never seen him run.
It was an older video. It's bad.
Oh, all right, Malcolm. Thank you so much, man. This has been a lot of fun.
Appreciate it, guys. All right, thank you.
Yeah, have a good night. That's Malcolm Stewart tonight, brought to you by Guts Racing. Yes, the 40-yard dash is on his Instagram. It may be on the other guy's Instagram as well, but go check it out.
I gotta go watch that after this.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Okay, X-Brand Forum check-in. X-Brand is your choice for clear vision and a leader in motocross and off-road goggles. X-Brand is used by many of the top GNCC riders, including 2023 XC1 champion Craig DeLong, 2023 National Hare and Hound XC1 champion Dalton Shurey, 23 AMA National Enduro champion Grant Baylor, and Lyndon Snodgrass. Supercross riders such as Kyle Chisholm, Freddie Norton, Henry Miller, Michael Hicks, Richard Taylor, Jerry Robin, and many more. Visit EKSbrand.com or go to your local dealership and ask for X-Brand, distributed through WPS. Tonight, the X-Brand Forum check-in is titled Dean Wilson, Eli Tomac, Jason Anderson, riding out the end of their careers. So that's the Tomac topic. It's brought to you by, or posted by a guy named Lockie144. Here's what he says. Man, I don't know about you guys, but I'm in the age group where these lads are 4 to 6 years older than me, and they're the ones I follow the most the last 10 to 14 years. And it's crazy for me that they're on the last years of their career. Guys, first of all, he used THERE for THEIR every time. We got to work on your English there, buddy.
Just read it.
Jesus. It's like every other word. It's driving me crazy already. It's going to be sad for me to see them go. What they have brought to the sport, people won't appreciate the most till they're gone. Once again, THERE. All have different personalities, which makes them more elite. For me, Dino has always been my favorite. I always think people don't realize how gnarly he is till towards the end of his career. All right, the idea. These guys, some of these guys that have been in our we've been watching these guys race for years. Right?
Yeah.
Long time.
Yep.
They're on their way out. The new generation is coming in, and it does kind of feel like it's going to be really sad in the next couple of years. We're going to lose a lot of our elite riders. Kenny, Eli, Jason Anderson, Dean Wilson. Malcolm's probably just got a few more years left. Like the guys that we have been following for so long, Cooper Webb, how many more years do you think he's going to do it? It's about the time where the new generation is going to come in, and it's a lot of riders probably all at once. It's kind of a bummer. Like it feels like the end of an era.
I know you like to look at things as a glass half empty because I just know that's the way you are. But looking at it glass half full, I would say that we're lucky that we got these extra years of watching these guys ride because the generation before them all retired by the time they were 27, 28, 29. And what I like about this group is that they've kind of set a precedence to where the younger guys now have to, like you can win a championship when you're 30, 31. You can keep riding with kids and having a family and having that background and pushing your body those extra couple of years. So it's now that that's been done, you're going to see more and more riders doing it, which is going to mean longer careers and which in turn will be better for the sport. So I think it's a good precedent that these guys have set to have longer careers. So I'm excited that they've done that.
Well, I'm sure everybody felt the same way when like K-Dub and Reed and Stu and all those guys went out ferry. And then, we've got this class of riders that we're talking about now. Like it's just it's a cycle. Like, there'll be somebody to come in, fill in the shoes. It's definitely not, it's definitely going to be sad, just the way it was sad when K-Dub retired and all that. But I'm glad, like Scotty said, I'm glad that they're starting to ride a little bit longer and they're not doing the Ricky retire at 26, 27 and just be gone and not disappear. He's still around, but we could have got 5 solid years out of him still. Sure. So
I think the weirdest thing or the most negative thing that I'm thinking though is that it's just so many of them at once. It feels like in the years past, like all right. RV goes away. Maybe a couple years later, Dungy goes away. It feels like all these guys are going to be at the end at almost the same time. And yeah, there are the new generation coming in. It's great, but it's just kind of sad, when you're like when McGrath left. It was
always sad.
It's never going to be the same again.
I think we're just getting old and screaming into the void, though.
Well, do we
get off my grass?
Do we think that we feel that because it's looking like pretty much unless Sexton has something to say about it that the next 8 years are going to be like Jet dominance. Maybe, it's still early to tell what Hayden's going to do with him. But, I guess that's the next thing to look forward to is Jet and Hayden. But do we feel that way because it's this era of the stacked field that anybody in the top 5 can win? It's kind of that we're kind of getting away from that in a way a little bit. It looks like it's going to be either Chase or Jet for the next year or two.
Yes,
so,
and no.
As of right now, that's the way it feels. So it's probably not helping.
Yeah,
right. I think Hunter's going to be up there too.
I do too.
I think there'll be 3, at least 3. But
then
maybe that is part of it.
Yeah.
An Eli going away, a Kenny going away. That's still a guy we believe can win.
Yeah.
Because 18, 19, $20 out of like 22 or so, it was pretty much like, hey, like there's like 6 guys that can win the title, and like it's like 1.5.
Right.
So it's I don't know, maybe that has a little bit of us thinking that way.
It could be, but I thought it was kind of an interesting little topic there by Lockie, even though he spells there wrong. Maybe you think Lockie is TJ?
It may be.
It could be.
He's ghostwriting.
But
his typing was blocky.
Yeah, he was obviously foreign because he spelled favorite with a U.
Oh, we'll give him a break.
So, but he still should know the difference in there.
Well, he's trying, bro. He's learning a new language.
He's probably English. He should know English.
Yeah, spelling favorite with a U is an English thing.
Yeah, that's
it's still his.
I didn't misspell.
Yeah, you misspelled a bunch of shit in our group text.
Yeah, that's just trying to type fast. I didn't post it on a forum.
Get an iPhone.
Okay, Barnett clutches, clutch performance of the week. That was the X Brand Forum check-in. Barnett clutches with 75 years of experience behind them. Barnett Dirt Digger clutch kits feature friction materials exclusive to Barnett for maximum performance and durability. Get 10% off with promo code VITALMX, all caps, and feel the Barnett difference. I'm sure I need a new clutch after this weekend riding that 350 at elevation. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure I'll be hitting up Barnett, try to get one of those placed on order. And if you guys need a clutch, support the show, support VitalMX, Barnett clutches. So there was no race this weekend, so I'm pretty interested to see what your Barnett clutch performances are. I have mine. I can go if you want, or one of you can go.
I'll go first. My clutch performances is a tie. It's either Andrew Short's son Turd taking you out and you getting stuck in his back wheel, which I know we'll get into, or the other buddy that went with us, Spencer, jumping the triple first on a trail bike basically and setting the precedence for all of us to do it. So I'll give it to him for doing it first, because I kind of wanted to be the one to do it first, but I didn't want to be the one that did it first at the same time.
Okay.
I was kind of pissed, honestly, because I was going out to do it and you like snuck a lap in and did it real quick, and like you came back, you're like, I just did it, and I'm like, mother. I was just about.
You should have been on the track more.
Oh yeah. Well, so when I know off topic a little bit, when Spencer did it the first time, he was right behind me. And he did it, and I heard him yelling, I heard somebody yelling. And like, woo! And I looked back, and it was him, and he was like, pull over. So then I tried to pull over, but the dirt was built up on the side of the track, and my front end washed out, and I like fell down the hill. And I got up, and I was like, what? Like, what? What do you want? And then he was like, I just did the triple follow me. And I'm like, well, I can't now. I had issues with my bar mounts.
We're going to talk about your bar mounts.
Yeah, I'll take it. But I had to go back and straighten my bars out. And then as I was going
for like the third time,
as I was going to do it, you were like, you came back and were like, I did it. And I was like, mother, I didn't want to do it after you.
Just real quick, AP said Alden caught me off guard. I'm actually like a 4.9, but I was just chilling. He said, in other words, yes, that's my sprint speed. And I said, but why were your arms straight down? Listen, I haven't sprinted like that since kickball in 5th grade. Hey. I'm built for distance.
The mullet looked good, though. We'll give him that. The mullet
had
was
a nice flow to it.
Flowing.
Chase, do you want to do yours?
My clutch performance is obviously me hitting the triple after riding like pure trash all weekend because I haven't been on a bike in a month.
Sounds like an excuse to me.
It is.
Yeah. It may be a reason, but it's also an excuse.
It's an excuse. And I should have rode more, but I was shooting races. Or shooting pictures of races, sorry. And,
he was shooting racists.
Yeah.
Hey, that's okay.
The Moto Madness killer.
Yeah, no, I went back and watched press day from this year and was like, man, I really shouldn't have done that triple. I shouldn't have done it.
That was a pretty cool moment because we were all there and like, all high-fived and stuff. It was cool. Yeah,
I couldn't be the only one to not at least try it. I was going to the hospital or going back to Texas, one of the two.
Yeah. All right, so mine was the Grandpa Earl video.
Oh yeah,
Grandpa Earl,
I watched that last night.
Dean Wilson working the pros at Tampa. They're revving the bike and those guys in the background.
Dude, that was hilarious.
So good. and the quote of the whole thing was, "Pump gas smells like privateers."
Yeah, that's good. I'm gonna use that for sure.
That was so good. I enjoyed that. Vince Pale sent one in. I got to find it real quick. So. Just you guys talk for a minute while I find this.
Yeah, I watched. We were on the 16-hour drive back, and I was in the back of the RV, and I saw that Grandpa Earl video. I was like, oh,
I watched it today. So
it was hilarious. He got the Lawrence brothers to do it, and obviously it was kind of pretty staged, but it was still
the
funny.
Outtakes at the end.
Yeah, it was funny.
Anything Dino does is awesome.
Stuff.
He's
a gem.
Yeah, a beauty, as Gauld would say.
Yes.
A beauty.
He's a beauty. So Vince Pale from TBolt USA sent in his clutch performance, and this is from last week, or it says Ironman. So Chase and AP walking away from everyone. Oh yeah, so last week Chase and AP walking away from everyone, but Tomac all day. KTM teammates were on the gas, so there's a few of them in there. Tom VL killed it in Moto 1 on the 250. Then Hayden made it clear that he was winning Moto 2. After him and mom threatened to take the keys away. So those were his. His clutch performance from last week. So good stuff. We've got a couple minutes before we get Carter Gray on. Yeah, your bar mounts. Well, we're not going to blow out the company, but they were janky, man. I don't know what that was about.
I don't know what it is either. They came on the bike when I bought them, but they're supposed to be like really good ones, but I don't know if it's if there's like a washer or something that I have worn out in there that just like they give, and like they were loose when I got there. I tightened them up before I even got on the track.
Yeah, you overjumped the triple and the bars were in your lap.
They went down and I landed.
I asked you like about torquing them, and we didn't have a torque wrench, but it definitely felt like there was way too much flex.
Well, that company puts the urethane in the opposite spot of where every other company does it. And
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe it may be operator error.
Yeah.
Like kind of like the drain plug. You know?
You were working on it,
easy.
and then you took off to go use the porta potty, and we started putting it back. And you came back, and you're like, "Oh wait, this piece was upside down."
Yeah, there was a
yeah, there was.
We were on a loose program.
We're gonna do a GoFundMe for new bar mounts for Scotty.
There's certain things that are legal in Colorado, so.
Oh jeez. All right. Well, our next guest of the night's on. So he's going to be brought to you tonight by FXR, which is designed by racers for racers. With industry-leading fit, finish, and performance, progression is the name of the game with every new piece created. At FXR, we push our brand to the next level to provide you with the best products possible. Used by the muck-off FXR Club MX Yamaha team, Mike Brown, Brock Tickle, Chris Kiefer, Benny Bloss, and many more. FXR has core motor roots, so visit fxrracing.com or go to your local dealership. And don't forget, this Friday, they're going to be releasing the rest of their 2025 gear line. The full lineup will be out Friday, including Helium, Revo, and Podium, and everything else. So check them out, flyracing.com. Tonight, Fly Racing brings us from Cobra Elite racer Carter Gray. What's up, Carter?
What's up, guys?
What's going on, man? So you grabbed my attention last year at Charlotte when we're sitting in the press box, and at the corner of my eye, I see some insane kid on a 65 jump in a Supercross triple. I don't know, man. What's wrong with you? I don't understand why you would do that on a 65.
I was like, I hit the big double in the back too. I hit all the jumps first. So I was like, with the big triple, it's big and scary, but I just kind of sent it. It hurt when I OJ'd it.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Bad.
Yeah, I remember that. Jeez, yeah, you're not old like me, so you can take that stuff. But is that something that you're very comfortable with? Is just jumping? You're a jumper.
Yeah, like I've been jumping a lot, so like my trainer clearly, we work with jumps, like not too much, but like some days when we work on jumps, we work on big jumps.
Okay. Well, Carter, I want to get your background before we get into, you're going to race this coming weekend at Charlotte again in the World All-Stars. But what's your background? Where you grow up? How'd you get into racing? Did your dad race?
So I actually live in St. Clairsville, Ohio, and my cousin, he raced quads, and the very first time I saw Supercross, and I was like, I want to do that.
Okay.
And I actually started doing that on a little Honda Pit Bike 50 in my house.
So when you go to your dad and tell him, hey, I want to race dirt bikes, what does he say? Did he know much about dirt bike racing before that, or was it brand new to him too?
It's brand new to my dad. Like, maybe he'd been to a GNCC from my cousin once, but it really, first time you're like, okay, we knew nothing, so we kind of just like threw it all in.
Awesome. I love that story. Scotty, not often do we talk to racers who didn't grow up with family, like dads who race, right?
Mm-hmm.
When he found Supercross. That's kind of the dream as media. We're always looking for the new fans, and this kid just discovered it, and now he's a ripper, and yeah, he's racing Supercross on a 65.
Yeah, it's got to be cool. Carter, I wanted to ask you, you're talking about like you like jumping things. How cool is it when you see older guys like not jumping something on a big bike and then like you do it? Yeah. Do you have more fun racing against big bikes or racing against guys in your class?
I like racing against big bikes because like I'm the little like spendy little dude that like everyone's like, whoa, he just hit that.
Yeah. You're that kid, huh?
That's for sure how I felt when I saw you.
Just go, man. Don't you're embarrassing me. Don't just get out of here.
Honestly, if we were at the same track, I'd be mad at you. Be like, why? Because you're gonna make me jump something that I shouldn't.
Yeah.
So you got a sixth and an eighth at Loretta's, and then 2 championships at Brawl.
He won a championship this year too. It's not posted on the Loretta's thing yet. So he won the 10 to 11. 10 to 11, yeah.
Oh,
class.
I thought it said P6 and P8.
That was last year. This year's aren't posted yet.
Okay, my bad. I'm sorry.
Just so you know, yeah.
So I guess you're getting a little bit better. You know, things are trending up. What are your goals for this upcoming year?
I know my goal with SMX. I just want to go in there and first lap, get the track down, and then start getting jumps, and then laps, and then do sprint laps, and then finally have my game ready for the final, and then do that for SMX.
So last year at SMX in Charlotte, you finished 6th. Where did you think you would finish? What were your expectations last year? Let's start with that.
I was expecting first.
Okay.
But I got a really bad start, got pinched off. I was like the last one, I was like the last of the group that hit the first jump of the start. So I was pretty far back, and then I kind of just worked my way up there, and then I didn't perform as good as I wanted to perform. But this year, I'm a lot ready. I've been training for Supercross a lot. I actually just rode today and hit some really big jumps, and I think I'm ready.
Yeah, I looked at your Instagram, and I was watching some of the things you're jumping, and I don't get it, man.
Freestyle jumps.
Kid's nuts.
Yeah.
So
He's going to pull a quad this year. I'm
so
stamping it.
obviously, if your goal last year was to win, your goal this year, you're going in expecting to win. Who's your biggest competition? Who are the kids you know you're going to be battling with for those top spots?
My biggest competition is myself, but
All right, I like it.
I like it.
I'd say probably Smart. I'm pretty sure Chase Brennan's going, and that's about it.
Okay. Where do you train?
I actually train at Germax Training, and then in the winter we just bounce around.
Man, this kid's all in. They just bounce around.
Yeah, that's what
it takes.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. Carter, when you move up to 85s, we all know that Cobras have been around for a long time, and they're a great, starting bike for 50s and 65s. And what do you expect? Where would you like to go, and what do you want to ride when you move to the next step with the 85s?
I have a Cali right now, but
Okay.
I'm open to anything.
Hell yeah, you are.
He says, Carter says, show me the money.
Yeah.
Show me the money.
Yeah, Ryan Holiday, where you at?
Yeah.
What gear were you hitting that triple last year on that 65?
Doesn't matter. Wide open.
Yeah.
I think I was coming around the corner, the sweeper, in third, and then shifting up to fourth. And it was actually a lot easier than I thought, because I only hit it like fourth half.
That's nuts,
Dude,
Carter.
I
Makes me wanna
remember
quit
him
riding.
going around that corner, and we were all in the press box going, what? Like, I think I was the first one that saw it. I literally saw it at the corner of my eye, and I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And I told everybody, we all watched, and yeah, it was just
What did
crazy.
How did it feel to hear all the fans screaming and going crazy?
Yeah.
Like I know
It
that.
was like,
Yeah, go ahead.
it was the first time I was like ever in a lot of area with fans, like except for obviously outdoor, but like that's just like in Supercross at SMX, that's like just a lot of people in one little spot like cheering for you, and I could definitely hear it in my helmet.
Yeah, did you kind of go, oh, I like this?
Yeah.
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 Lit a fire.
Did you have to like were all the monster girls coming after you after the race? You have to kind of
Did you get
no,
some
ladies.
girlfriends?
I'm here to race, ladies.
I actually was at the same hotel with them.
Oh,
All right, we're
yeah.
going to move on from that topic. Don't need to get anybody in trouble. Carter, how did the Cobra Elite ride come along, and what does that mean? What do they do for you? How does that work?
They actually help a lot. So the first time I was actually at Baja, and we were like, yeah, we'll work a deal out, like a 2-year deal. I'm pretty sure a 2-year deal, and I signed the deal, and then I actually went home after Baja, and I was actually fishing, and they called me and like, yeah, you're on.
How'd that make you feel? And I'm sure I'm sure it excited you. I want to know how it made you feel, but also how did it make your dad feel? Because that's a lot of help.
Yeah, we were like super stoked because like I was always on my own coming up too, and they mean a lot.
Yeah, and speaking of your dad, you mentioned that he didn't know a lot about the sport. It's kind of new, so I'm sure he has to learn how to work on these things, right? You have to learn everything when you don't know much about it, like how you get the bike to the track, how the series or how a race works. Everything is new to you. And your dad, maybe, I don't know, did he even like motorcycles before this? He has to become a fan to support you.
Yeah, actually, my trainer Clay, he does my bike work. He does on-track training, off-track training. He does all of it. My dad just like helps me get to the track, place track, and I'm normally there for like 4 days a week, and then I go home from Friday to Sunday, and then I'm back at it Monday through Friday.
Okay, cool. That takes a little bit of the pressure off your dad. He can just be dad.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like I live with my mom's parents, and so we're all in the same house, and like whoever has work up that way, they could drive me up, drop me off, and then everyone just helps me out.
Yeah, good. Tight family.
So I went and shot pictures at Spring Eating this past year. Moto Playground puts on a super cool event. I was just curious, like, what's your favorite amateur event that you've gone to so far?
My favorite is, I would say, Mammoth. Mammoth was really cool.
Yeah, Mammoth's on the bucket list. I want to go do that race.
Carter. Go ahead, Carter.
It was really cool for the first time. Like, we flew out there, just me and my trainer, and like, we always go everywhere together, but like that one was big because like the furthest I've been on the West Coast side was Texas.
Yeah, that's a big. Yeah, going from Texas to California is a big difference.
Yep.
Yeah, and then I checked off another one off my bucket list at Glen Helen.
Did you like that track? I hate it.
Yeah, I didn't care for it this year either.
My bike feels really slow. The only thing I like about it is the hip jump. So I could just hold it wide open and send it down the hill.
Almost jumped off the track there. So it was a fun jump, but I need a little more skill, I think.
Yeah, we're not as talented as you.
Carter, who is it that riders that you look up to and that you try to ride like, and then did you get to meet some of them last year at SMX, and who are you looking forward to meeting this year?
So at Glen Helen, I actually met Marvin, and that was really cool. We actually did a jersey swap.
Nice.
And
cool.
And then at SMX, I was talking to Ken Roxon about the triple before I did it. And he's like, yeah, I just hold it fourth wide and just send it.
Great advice from an adult.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. It was like, I was definitely really scared. And then I want to try to do a jersey swap with Levi Kitchen.
If somebody's giving my kid advice on a triple, Ken Roxon's a pretty good candidate for that.
Yeah. Do you know any? Do you know anybody? Do you have a connection with Levi? Do you know him at all?
So we were in Mammoth, and we actually were with Mitch and everybody from Pro Circuit.
Yeah.
And we went to dinner, and Mitch paid me $50 to eat a dead fly with wasabi on it.
Oh wow.
Mitch did that?
Sounds like Mitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So what did you spend the $50 on?
Ice cream and candy.
You had to wash the taste out, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm a grown man and I don't want to eat wasabi. I'm out.
You're a grown boy, Scott.
Yeah, it's true.
Cook it and just put it down the hatch.
Yeah,
I like you, man. You're a cool kid. So I wish I was going to be at Charlotte this weekend. We won't be. We'll be at Fort Worth. But yeah, you won't be there. But dude, yeah, it's really cool to see a kid with your ability and skill coming up. That's our future. We were just talking about Carter. That a lot of the older guys, the Eli Tomacs, Ken Roxons, those guys are going to be retiring soon. A lot of the riders that we grew up with are going to be going away, and 10 years from now, you're going to be the future of this sport. I assume that's your plan, right? That's what you want to be. You want to be a supercross professional racer.
Yep.
So when do you know when you're going to move up? You didn't ask him that, Scotty.
I just asked what bike he wanted to do.
Do you know when you're going to move up to the next class? Do you have a plan?
SMX is my last race on my 65.
Oh, it is. Okay. So yeah, it's time then. So 25 is the year of super minis for you.
Yep.
Awesome. You guys got anything else for Carter?
No, man. We hope to see you send it again and be safe and just have fun, man. We appreciate you coming on and looking forward to you seeing what you're able to do, man.
Yeah, can't wait to talk to you in the future.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. I'm going to send a text to Levi in a minute and tell him that he's got to do a jersey swap with you. So I'll try to help. I'll try to help with that.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Carter. Hey, man, great talking to you and good luck. And yeah, we'll be watching you.
Thank you.
You're welcome, buddy. Take care. See ya. Carter Gray, brought to you by FXR.
Don't worry, Carter. I'll use my connection. I'll get you a jersey swap. I got you, buddy. I got you.
Do you know what that is?
He's jealous that he doesn't have the connection.
Yeah.
I don't understand,
Yeah,
man.
it's jealousy.
I'm just trying to help a kid.
I won't say there's not jealousy, but it's still funny to do.
just trying to help a kid out, and he's berating
You're a
me.
good guy. Cool side.
Why is he berating me?
Oh, so when you need some tissues, you want to?
No, I'm not. I'm dumbfounded that you would try to bully me when I'm just trying to help a little kid out.
Yeah, me too. Sometimes I'm just trying to ask a guest a question. You just bully me for no reason. Sucks, doesn't it?
You
want to hurt donut? You want to hurt donut?
Give me an example.
Dude,
I
we're
got a
about to
whole
have
box
to
full.
I think we're about to end up in the yard out here with the camera still rolling.
We're going to pause this. We'll be right back.
Yeah, we're right.
TBolt USA top 5. If you are a pit bike enthusiast and love shredding around on a CRF 110, KLX 110, or whatever you have, you need TBoltUSA.com bookmarked on your web browser. TBolt USA is a pit bike supply site that's everything you need for your pit bike, from BBR handlebars to D&M shocks and even full bikes from YCF and Pitster Pro bikes. TBolt USA has it all. They even have stuff for the Chinese bikes that are so difficult to find. I get asked all the time about these Chinese bikes, friends on Facebook that don't really ride. And they're like, hey, do you know what this is? Or, hey, do you know how to get somebody that'll work on this? And I'm always like, nope.
No clue.
Well, TBolt USA has parts to fix them. So check out TBoltUSA.com. They can help you out. This week's TBolt USA is our top 5 favorite bikes we've ever ridden. Chase, I'm going to let you go first. Well, you know what? Yeah, you go first. Then I'll do Vince Pales. Then the two of us will go, Scotty.
Top bike I've ever ridden, hands down, was a 2013 Suzuki 450. Thing just handled so well. My 19 Cowie 450. It probably wasn't the best like riding bike. I like riding the most, but I was the most comfortable on it, so I had fun on it. I hate that TJ's got two of TJ's bikes are on this list. His the 250 that I rode at Thunder Valley, the thing's set up. Everybody talks bad about TJ's setups, but I don't mind them. 23 gas 350. That was the first 350 I rode, and I really like those bikes. And the last one's that I think it was a 2006 RM 250 two-stroke. It was TJ's again, and that hurts my heart. It hurts my heart. It really does.
If I had known you were going to do that, I would have just changed the subject or something.
Yeah, you should have, but the bike handled really well. TJ doesn't do very many things well, but he's a pretty good mechanic.
I know. You're right. I mean, it killed me to just give him credit for letting us use his RV. It's just, I don't know, man. Well, all right. You want to go, or you want me to
go ahead?
Okay. Good radio here. All right. Vince Pale, TBolt USA, top 5. 1970 Hodaka Ace 100 first real dirt bike. 1978 and a half Suzuki RM 250 C2 first real MX bike. 1988 Honda CR 250R, great handling and crazy top end power. I do remember hearing a lot about those 88, 89 Honda CRs.
Mm-hmm.
95 Honda XR 100, favorite all time pit bike. 2021 Yamaha YZ 250F, magic bike, does everything well and great power that is manageable. Chris Kiefer helped me big time with maps and minor setups. Those were Vince's.
I should have put an XR 100 on there. I've put more hours on an XR 100 than anything.
Yeah.
That just 10,000 RPMs, barely any oil in it, just keeps going.
Want to do yours?
Yeah. One is my first bike, which was a PW50. It was one of the red ones.
Yeah.
And the only reason I'm putting that on there is because my dad bought that bike out of like somebody's garage, and I rode it for like 6 years, and we never once had to do anything to that bike, and it was great. And then we got my sister a brand new one, like pulled it out of the shop, brand new, and that thing never held a candle to the 1990 or 89 or whatever I had. It didn't run as good. It never ran or as fast as the old one we had. So I'll put that old PW on there. We had a 02 Honda CR125. The motor wasn't the best I've ever rode. Like, the motor was not that great, but as far as the bike goes, that was the best handling bike I've ever had. I'm going to have to put KLX, like a tricked out KLX 110. Like I remember I've rode some that have like clutch and gears and suspension. Those things were sweet.
Okay.
And then my 04 YZ250 I used to have, that bike was, I had it where it would lug, and I had it handling great, and I loved that bike. And then my KTM I have now, that's the first real like tricked out 450 or anything I've ever had. And I love that bike, and I want to go ahead and like trade up to like a newer one, but I just love that bike so much. It's hard. It's,
yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Except for the bar mounts, I guess.
Yeah,
your bar mounts are a little questionable.
Yeah.
Yeah, those 02 Honda 125s were pigs. They were pretty slow.
but it didn't matter
handled
because you
great.
could handle.
Yeah,
you could put it wherever you wanted to.
Yeah, you had to ride it, but
yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go. My favorite bike was the 23 Husky 350. That's the most comfortable I've ever felt on a bike.
I could put that in there. I like
it's
that.
probably
bike.
the fastest best I've ever ridden on that bike because I was so confident on it. Just did it, no matter where I wanted to put the bike, I did it. I literally, I've said this on the show before. I remember thinking while I was riding it, like, this has to be what like Eli Tomac feels like. Not like I was going that fast, but like just whatever I want it to do, it does.
Yeah.
It just does it. It was so cool. My 06 Honda CRF 450 is on my list because I remember that bike being awesome and handling so great. I'm working on rebuilding it. It might not be as good as I remember it.
Are you?
Yeah, I just fixed the brakes finally.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I started working on it like a couple weeks ago, and the
I was just making sure it wasn't
caliper was
like
seized, and I had to get the piston out. And I had to buy a tool to get the piston out, and I'm
I mean,
slowly, but yes.
I was just making sure it's not like Tay Socks or the app or Marx's app or anything like that.
The socks are in the mail.
Yeah, someone said, "Oh, he can get Carter Gray at Levi Kitcheners as well, but he can't get Tay Socks."
Hey, they're both going to be in Charlotte together, not in Australia or New Zealand or where the hell. If he comes, tell him to come to the U.S. and I'll hook him up. Man, they're in the mail.
They're in the mail.
I don't know.
I'm sure that Honda will hold up because Kiefer just did that test and he said it's a lot closer than you'd think.
The 24 YZ 450 that I just gave back was on my list. Got very comfortable on it. Loved the power. Loved the adjustability of the power with the Yamaha tuner app. The suspension was fantastic. So much power. So that bike is definitely on there. One of my all-time favorite bikes. I don't even know that I remember it that well, but my 1980 Yamaha Weisinger 50, my very first motorcycle.
Yeah.
Just ripping that thing up down the road in Southern California, out in wherever my dad took me in the dunes. That was cool. And my first real race bike when I actually learned went to the first motocross race was my 89 RM 125 with conventional forks. Again, probably a piece of shit.
It was.
But
I
didn't know any better.
Yeah.
It was just my first real big bike, and I was learning about motocross. So to me, in my mind, that thing was awesome.
If it's the only one you rode, it
had the yellow. It had the yellow fork protectors, the little accordion things.
Yep.
Dude, was sweet.
It wasn't.
Our email is motoxpodshow@gmail.com. If you guys want to contribute to the TBolt USA Top 5, the Evans Coolant emails, the Yamaha Motor USA highs and lows, or you want to tell us that or at least tell Scotty that he sucks, or anything about the show.
They just said I'm a legend.
Yeah, that's the chat, man. You should see the messages they sent me in emails. I don't even want to read them to you about how.
Oh, show me. I'd love for you. After the show,
I don't
show
want
me.
to do
I'd love
that. I
to see
delete them because it's just awful.
Does it say
Yeah,
legend?
you delete them. Yeah.
Does it say legend or did they misspell degen?
Yeah, no, they said legend.
But if you want to contribute to the show or have anything to say, motoxpodshow@gmail.com. And I also want to remind you, you can go to vitalmx.com, sign up for the fantasy league for free, the fantasy game for free, and there is a Moto X Pod Show league. So get involved with those things. We're going to do the Evans Coolant emails next. Evans waterless coolant protects your engine because it always stays liquid. Steam inside the engine creates hot spots and detonation, but with Evans, the metal is always liquid cooled. Used by HRC Honda, Factory Beta USA, and Pro Factory Yamaha, and lots of other teams, regardless of sponsorships. Evans is in the bikes on the podium. So check out evanscoolant.com to keep your bike running cool at all times. All right. So the first one, this is just like one of those fun ones. It says, if you could hang out with any rider for a day, who would it be and what would you do besides go riding? It doesn't say, so I guess you can pick. Go ahead, Scotty. I feel like with that question, you might have one in mind.
Oh, no, I was just clarifying.
you just clarified.
Say it again.
If you could hang out with any rider for one day, who would it be and what would you do besides ride?
I don't know. Give me a second.
I got one. Dogger. Hands down.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd have him take me to Havasu. Like, what else? What else are you gonna do?
Yeah.
It's obviously gonna be a little different, but I'd like to walk down memory lane with Dogger.
Yeah. So when you said that, I went Jim Holly anywhere on an airplane.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Can I change my answer?
Yeah, go ahead. Jim Holly?
Jim Holly in Buffalo 84. Yeah.
Any arena cross where they flew in the girls from LA.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't even have one thought of yet. So I'm trying to think about it. Like I'm thinking more current. I'm going to go current. So do you have one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I don't have one either.
Oh,
Shit.
I would probably have to say MC. Like, go ahead.
That's a good one too. I would like to hang out with him. So what would you do?
Go to the dunes.
Non-dirt bike.
What?
It's non-dirt bike.
No, I just said you just not go ride.
Oh, okay.
What
would you do besides go ride with them? It has to be like non-moto.
Okay, that is what it says. But I mean, I think dunes.
Yeah.
I'll accept dunes because I'm thinking like go ride motocross. You go into dunes, a free ride.
Yeah, he does a bunch of like side-by-side stuff too.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind hanging out with McGrath and doing some like he used to do the off-roading.
I got another one. I would go golfing with Jordan Smith.
Okay, yeah, you're a big golfer.
Yeah, golf.
I was thinking like I'd go maybe as I'm sitting here thinking about it, maybe pick somebody to go golfing with to do it. But you know what? I'm gonna go Phil Nicoletti.
Oh yeah,
that's a good one.
And just hang out. Like let's go to town. Let's go get some dinner. Let's just hang out.
Go try to buy a mountain bike out the door price.
Yeah.
Sit in the living room with the lights off.
Yeah. So that's pretty good. Then we got another one. Will any of you guys be attending the Vet Nationals?
Are you?
The one at Glen Helen?
Yeah.
Probably not.
I don't know yet. Mathis actually texted me yesterday with Kiefer and asked if I was coming, and I don't know. I don't know if that.
Well, the only
I got
way
some budget things as always, but I got some things I need some debts that I want to get paid off, and doing trips like this weekend, and that just make it really difficult. So I think I don't know yet.
The only way I would ever be able to go is if you went. So
I went and rode GH.
I wouldn't go do that by myself.
Well, I mean, why would it just be me? You and Spencer? Because if I go, I'm going to fly out and just borrow a bike.
Oh. Well, I guess I'm not going.
Yeah.
Okay.
I went and rode GH during the week of A1. And as Phil would say, I saw God coming down the hill, and I think I'm good on racing it.
I think that's the biggest thing is I just don't like that track.
Yeah, I don't really care for it. I'd go practice at it again.
It's a lot of money.
I have no desire to go race it. Zero.
Yeah, me either, honestly.
I'd rather go ride.
I mean, I'm not saying I won't do it. I might. But
if I go to Cali, I want to go ride around Kiefer's house again.
Yeah. All right. Those are your answers?
Yeah.
All right. Seth sent in. I'm going to get shit from Scotty for this. I'm just reading the email.
Okay.
Okay. First, I'm a huge fan of yours. You remind me of Mark Wahlberg in Steel Dragon. You're the everyday man who turned his love of motocross into a highly regarded media member. Well, the movie wasn't called Steel Dragon, though. That was Rockstar, right? Rockstar. But he was in the band Steel Dragon.
That's awesome.
That's good.
I listen to Pulp, Swap, and Vital. However, I really love the positivity you bring. You don't bash or disrespect people. Fuck you, Scotty.
Who is he listening to? He got you confused with somebody else.
He doesn't see all off the camera because it's pretty brutal.
He knows it's out of love, Scotty. Yeah, you still ask some tough questions and riders answer them. Dude, you kept hating on for 30 minutes. That shows he respects you. Then he asked a couple questions. He asked if I was related to the MMA guy, Clay Guida. And I think I am. I feel like somebody told me that. But if it is, it's like vaguely.
So you come from a long line of ass whoopers.
There's just not that many Guidas in the country, first of all. So
you're the only one I know and I've ever met.
Yeah.
And I've been all over the country.
So, but thanks, Seth, for the kind words about the show and how we handle things. We appreciate that. Vince Pell sent one in on MXDN. It seems like USA and Australia will be likely in the mix for the top spot. Matterley Basin is most likely going to be muddy, and just from what we saw here in Supercross, Chase and Aaron did quite a bit better in the wet conditions, better than the Lawrence brothers. What teams do you guys see as being in contention?
The Netherlands.
Yep.
Kaidelwolf, Koldenhoff, and Hurlings.
I wanted to look at a list. I can't remember what everybody is.
If Australia doesn't win, which Kyle Webster's kind of the weak link there, not saying that he's a bad rider, but just compared to the rest of the rest of the teams, I don't know. It depends on what Koldenhoff does because he's kind of been hot and cold all year.
Yeah. So Netherlands, like you said, you named them, and then France is Vial, Renault, and Favre. That's gonna be a good team.
They'll be good. They'll be up there too.
Vial, as Lewis has mentioned,
Renault's been hurt. Oh no, not
Renault.
Renault
Just came back. No, Renault just came back.
Okay.
Last weekend was his first.
Okay, that's what I thought.
But as Lewis has mentioned, Vial's not great in the mud.
Yeah.
So that maybe he's a weak link.
The mud throws a wrench in it.
Like I think that the Netherlands, Australia. And Belgium. Belgium is Sasha and Lucas Coolant.
And Everts, right?
And Everts.
Yeah.
That's a really
good team too.
It's a young team.
Yeah, they're all 250 riders.
So there's three.
Are they going to run 3 250s? Or are they going to have one on the 450 or?
Have two on 450s.
I know, but I think you could ride down.
on a 250 if you wanted. I would bet they're going to ride 450s. If Lewis is listening, maybe he can let us know. He probably knows.
May throw him on a 350.
I feel like I saw that Lucas is going to ride the 450. And then I think Liam's on 250, and I think Sasha is open, but I don't know what he's riding.
Okay. May throw him on a 350. They're on Austrian teams.
So maybe if Lewis is listening, he'll know the answer to that. But I think the Netherlands are the favorite.
Yeah.
Hurlings is on it right now. Kaida Wolf and Koldenhoff is always
probably the strongest team they've had.
Yeah,
as long as I've been alive,
it's going to be good.
They're close.
Yeah, I think USA has a chance.
Absolutely, they have a chance.
They do. The mud's gonna. I mean, there's no telling what happens.
I think that. I mean, obviously the goal as a team is to go there and win, but I'm actually kind of more excited to see individually. Like, I think Chase really has it in his head that he wants to go like 1-1 in his classes on that. And so I'm really focused on watching how Chase does. I think that says more to me than the actual teams.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I think we have we're going to podium. I feel like we're very likely to podium. Our next guest is probably going to say that Canada is likely to podium and maybe is a favorite for MXDN. We'll get him on in just a second. He's going to be brought to you tonight by ProX, which is rooted in racing from motocross to off-road and supporting teams such as Ampro Yamaha, Pro Circuit Kawasaki, and SLR Honda. They have been supplying quality components for almost 50 years. From complex jobs like an engine rebuild to simple maintenance, including filters, chains, and sprockets, ProX aims to bridge the gap between OE quality and affordability. You can find ProX at your local dealer or visit prox-usa.com and search for parts for your bikes. I just ordered some chains and sprockets for the 350 from ProX. Great company supporting the show. And tonight they bring us Canadian legend Ryan Gauld. What's up, Gauldy?
What's up, boys?
What's up, man? Good to talk to you. It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a minute, eh? I mean, what the hell? We're not friends anymore? Like, you don't text me or call me?
I know. It's been like since Sunday since I sent you a text. And, bro, yeah. I mean, I figured you needed a few days to recover from 10 days with Steve Mathis.
Well, as I said on our pod, actually, we did one there on Monday, and I said, anybody that is wanting to do like a fan experience with the pulp leader, the man, the myth, the legend that is Steve Mathis, don't do it. Don't buy into it. It really is. It is a 5. It is a standard 5. Not a lot of excitement. Not a lot of anything. It's just driving, focusing, e-bike talk. But yeah, it was a pretty hell of a trip. I'm obviously busting his balls, but pretty privileged to be a part of what it was in Fox Hill and then the whole Colorado thing. But I was glad to be home. Now I get to hang out with my kids, and I just put them to bed, and I'm like, oh my God, I want to go back on a trip again. My kids drive me nuts.
Yeah, it's time for Amy to go on a trip. You got to let Amy go away for 10 days.
That's true. If she would do that for 10 days, I'm in. I'll send her anywhere for 10 days. I am in all that. But then I have to send the kids somewhere else, though, so I still have 10 days to myself.
Yeah. I don't think there's any way Amy's letting you have the kids for 10 days. You'd ruin it.
Yeah, that would be good. I'm a good dad, but I'm not I wouldn't be a good 10-day alone dad. No way. I would. There'd be a lot of poop, a lot of disgusting things around, poopy wipes laying on the floor, food all over the counters and whatnot. Yeah, it'd be good.
Well, we got to hang out with you this weekend at Thunder Valley at the Pulp Mix Ride Day. You got to meet some of my buddies, and we had a great time. Scott, you want to go first? You want to say hi?
What's up, Noob? I mean, Gauldy.
Wait. Spencer. Hey, Spencer. How's it going, Spencer?
So
I didn't have the heart, man. You were so convicted. I just let you do it, man.
So we haven't told that story. We started off the show with some Thunder Valley stories, but all weekend long for our listeners, Gauldy's calling Scotty Spence, which is his best friend's name, Spencer, who's with us. And at the live Pulp show Saturday night, Gauldy has the mic. He's doing question and answers from the crowd, and he's like, "Oh, Spence has a question," and Scotty, we're just all laughing. Like, what?
Yeah, I was pretty lit at that point too, so I got a kick out of that.
But Gauldy, what did you think when it had been all day, 2 days, and he never spoke up?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. I fucked up, I guess. I don't know. I took it all in. I took it all in at the Mexican restaurant, and I just kind of went too fast with it all. And then I I misspoke. Obviously, got it wrong. But yeah, like, who the fuck lets someone go for 2 days calling the wrong name?
So,
like, just tell me. Like,
it was funny. I always say I don't really care. Like, you were one of my favorite people I met and had the best conversations with. So I just enjoyed it in a long run, anyways. But the first time you said it, I was like, did he say spins? And I was like, so I just kind of like, whatever. I didn't say anything, and then it kept going. And then after it made live broadcasting, I was like, I should probably let him know.
I was blown. When you told me, I'm like, what? Seriously? I'm like, oh my god!
Yeah,
and an idiot I am. Yeah.
It's all good, man. It was a great time. It was cool to get to ride with you a little bit and everything, man.
Now, Gauldy,
go ahead. Yeah.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, the Mexican thing kicked it off. It was awesome to sit down and meet a couple fellas and friends of yours, Dark Side, and realizing that you've got normal friends. You're not just some weirdo with a weird nickname, Dark Side, and a tattoo.
I wouldn't say normal friends, but
normal friends. Yeah, I don't know for normal, but yeah, that was awesome. I mean, the whole hangout session. I mean, I eat that shit up. I mean, you guys are. I mean, I know you're the same. We did it, and go riding dirt bikes, then chirp each other a little bit, have fun.
Yeah.
Had Chase there taking photos, making sure everybody looked good, and it was badass. Again, thanks to Steve and the Yamaha guys and all that stuff, but. Getting to meet a few new people and bond and stuff like that, even with the butchering the names. Still a good time.
Well, hey, what was the out of the 10 days with Steve? What was the hottest take or like the most thing that you were just like y'all got hung up on?
Well, he kind of brought it up on the Pulse show, and I think you guys probably listened. But he had this beef with us. In England, that me, Tyler, and Noof didn't socialize enough, and it was more of a joke. But then once we did kind of venture out, all it saw was Steve arguing over politics and whatnot with either RV or Jackie, and then it would turn in, and then we'd fit in the circle, and then we were just not even ghostly. We were like ghosts standing there, and I'm like, and at the end of it, he's like, you guys weren't social enough. So I'm like, dude, if you want to see all these new people that have like followed us and followed me, and I'm DMing with people, good meeting you, yada yada. So that was kind of a weird thing. I think it did become more of a joke.
Yeah.
But then the one thing we didn't talk about it on the show. I don't believe we talked about Pulp. I did it on mine. But anyway, there was on the Wednesday after the Pulp show, because we did it Tuesday, we were supposed to go for an e-bike ride. Okay, on the Wednesday, he had a busy day. He had some meetings in the morning. With advertisers and stuff, and then he was doing the review podcast with JT and Weege. And in the morning, at the Pulp show, hey, we're going e-biking tomorrow, right? And that's at like what, 11 o'clock at night, 10:30. I'm like, yeah, I'm in, man. I'm here. I don't got anything to do. Although it's 7,000 degrees in Vegas, I'm really, I'm not that into it, but I'm like, whatever, I'm going to do this. So, and then in the morning after his meeting, he's like, hey, you're sure, right? You want to go? And I'm like, yeah, man, I'm sure. Quit fucking asking me. I'm going. And then after the review pod, he's like, are you sure? I'm like, hey, just tell me that you don't want me to go because you're so serious. Just say it. Just say it. It's almost like, hey, Spence, tell me your name is Scotty. Like, just tell me.
Yeah.
Like, it was a pretty funny moment. He's like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm like, dude, like, I don't need to be coddled along. Just tell me that you don't want me to come because I'm either gonna slow you up or whatever it was, and I'm gonna want to talk too much. So anyway, he went and did his ride, and then he came back and he's like, man, that ride was shit. I hated every minute of that. Sucks. And this, and I'm like, well, I hung out with Augie on the couch. I made myself a couple vodkas and relaxed, watched the movies, went in his pool, and just chilled out. Me and Augie just chilled, and I'm like, I had a great day.
Yeah,
I had a great afternoon. But,
that sounds way better than a mountain bike ride.
I thought it was humorous when he brought that up about you and Noof not being sociable. When it's the pot calling the kettle black, when he's the guy, I don't want to talk to fans. I don't want to talk to people I don't know. I just want like my group. And that's all he ever does is talk to Kiefer, RV, whoever about motocross and the same stories over and over and over.
Yeah. I mean, I expected him to be not super personable just from all the stories I've heard, but he's a super cool dude. He's super down to earth. And now Gauldy on that.
I think, sorry, I think it's a show. I think it's a bit of a show sometimes, right?
Dude, Gauldy, you know how you heard it at the live show. You know how he does me. And I get emails from listeners and I get texts from friends like, I can't believe you let him talk to you like that. I'm like, dude, it's an act, man. Like off camera, off that, he's cool as hell. Yeah, he's helped me out so many times in the last 6 years or whatever. Yeah, he's fine.
Seeing it in person, you can tell it's from a place of love.
Yeah, I actually think this might be a Canadian thing, and I'm starting to believe this for a reason like Steve. So it's almost like that saying, like, you know, if they don't talk shit on you, that means they don't like you. That's in a sense, right? Like
100%.
So I was raised by this guy. So my old man missed a good part of my racing career because he decided that but he had to go away behind the doors and wasn't around for a bit. No big deal. It's a wild story. We could share it one time down the road. We'll get some couple drinks into us.
Yeah.
But so anyway, I had this guy kind of fill the role, and literally he was like a bike shop owner, give me the bikes, and I sponsored me. And he was like that. Literally, there was never like, you know, oh, hey man, I think you can do this better, or like, hey, let's go over here and try this, and something like, you're shit, dude. Like, you suck. And I was like, you know, supposed to win championships, and the next kid coming up to the rank. And it was more of like trying to be talked down and make you feel like shit, but in behind it, like, it was all love and no hugging, but it was all love and hugs, kind of thing. Cause I don't hug, but yeah. And then I like, Steve's like that same way. I think even with you, Dark, right? You're an important part of his life, but he would rather shit on you than really open up his arms and let you in emotionally, in a sense. If,
100%.
There's no therapist. There's no therapist in our lives, right? No. Emotions are allowed. Yeah. So it's
don't worry,
funny.
Gauld. It's a full circle. You know, Steve and Kiefer shit on him. He shits on me, and we just keeps on going. Just life goes on. Circle of life.
Yeah.
Still,
yeah, exactly. Right. No, it's good time. Like I said, hey, if you're not buddies unless you're talking some shit.
Yep.
To each other.
Yeah. All right, Gauld, what are a couple highlights from this weekend for you? What are I assume Steve's going to probably have you on Monday night when I'm sure he'll recap everything this next Monday. So I don't want to steal all the stories, but give me a couple things that stood out.
I'm pretty sure the podcast world in America's got to be sick of me by now. I've been talking live shows, Pulp show, now this show. You guys, your numbers are going to go down. Okay. Highlight of Colorado. The track was awesome. I thought that was so much fun. I was it was funny. We were kind of talking about it, how all national tracks, even our Canadian ones, when you get there, you're like, man, this is it. This kind of looks like shit. This isn't really what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Right. And then we went and rode on Saturday, and it was, you know, in the morning or in the first couple sessions, it was a little bit muddy, but it turned out to be just super fun. You know, those jump faces were steep and whatnot. But it was great when you did them. Like, I thought the track that kind of made it exciting for me, because I was, you know, you're always unsure about if you're going to enjoy riding, even though you're riding forever, if you're going to like it. And, you know, for me traveling, right, I got to have insurance. If I wad my shit up, am I covered down here? Those kind of things go through your mind now when you're leaving the country and stuff like that. But so the track was amazing. The death-defying e-bike ride, where I basically, as Phil always says, I saw God fucking 10 times. That was a bit intimidating, but I lived through it, so now I can tell the story that I basically crapped my pants coming down. Like I think I told you guys at the Mexican ride, or the Mexican dinner.
Easy, we don't tell that story. Geez, first.
So yeah, at the dinner about how it said it was enchanted. Like I said, there was nothing enchanted about coming down this damn hill. Just rocks and endoing and almost crashing, and Pascal crashed, and Greg Kiefer's buddy, he went down. Nobody was bleeding and stuff, but that was pretty fun. But to be honest with you, boys, I think I'm going to find an investor. I want a Top Golf in Canada. I need Top Golf.
Hey, that's not a bad idea. I can't believe y'all don't have them up there,
dude. I'm blown away. Like, they're obviously, golf is, you know, as big here as it probably is anywhere, and everybody loves it. It's a attractive sport. Everybody can do it. It's fun. You're drinking beers and having a good time and stuff. But like, I was blown away. Well, I'm starting Googling. I'm looking. There is nothing in Canada like Top Golf. So I don't know if it's maybe, you know, just I don't know what the reason would be. I have no idea. Maybe it's just too expensive. I don't know. But man, what a kick-ass time! Like, literally, if we went and did that instead of Mexican, we would be talking some serious back on the show tonight, and we'd probably be a lot more hungover on Saturday.
You just have to change the name to Top Golf.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a good time. That was a highlight for sure. I had never been, and it was funny. I was like, Steve was like my fun uncle for a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go, son. Okay, let's go take you to Top Golf, kind of thing. You know, we had to drive. It was like 40 minutes on the track, but it was that was a hoop. But just, to be honest with you, I mean, I can tell you guys are the same. You got passion for the sport. I just love hanging out at the track, watching everybody ride, and then come back and talking. I mean, mixing a drink with Bradshaw, Shorty's hanging out, and you know, for for you, Dark, you're getting kind of used to the lifestyle now, right? Back in the old dig and ditch days, you were just looking at their playing cards or looking at their Instagram. Now you're bros with all these guys and they talk shit. And for me, I get to sprinkle it in a little bit. And I've known them obviously for years, racing wise and stuff, but never really got to hang out. It was just it was super cool. Those ride days, I think, are a win. I don't think they're like advantageous to the budget side of Pulp MX, but I think they're good for the good heartness and just allowing customers to kind of hang out and meet people and all that stuff. So hopefully it continues to kind of go, and it maybe it just keeps going to different tracks. Next year, boys, let's go to Texas.
Let's go.
Let's go to Texas.
Yeah, we can make that trip.
Yeah,
No
every fan, you could tell that there was guys there that were like, this was like, it was a big deal. I mean, it was cool because it was, some of them came up to Dark Side and met us and like, oh yeah, listen to your show, is great. And then for me, it was cool to meet guys like you, Gauldy, and Kiefer and Steve and all them. So yeah, I like you said, I don't think it's gonna like break the bank and have to get a new. Steve's not gonna get bigger roof because of it.
I don't even know how he made money. I think,
but it was fun. It was worth it.
Dave, the track owner, got the gate. So what?
Yeah, no, I think Steve's just doing it.
Steve's got nothing.
Yeah,
he's got nothing. It's
good for business.
May never share that. Yeah, it's just like a promotional tool. Hey, Jerry, it's a write-off, Jerry. It's a write-off.
Exactly.
Hey, I will say though, Gauldy, on Sunday, Steve was talking to us before we left, and I don't know if he ever admitted it to you, but he said that the mountain bike ride wasn't supposed to be that intense, and that he was actually really impressed on how you made it through, because he's like, you don't do that stuff. And then like the guy was like, oh yeah, take us to something kind of easy, and then he took you out of that. So he actually was pretty proud, I think.
Well, like we just said, he won't say it to your face,
right?
But around the back corners, he does share love. He even says that about Dark Side and man, there you go. So deep down inside, he does care. There is a Care Bear inside of Steven, a Care Bear.
Yeah. So one of my lows this for this show or whatever was you only being there one day, because I think out of all the people from the Pulp universe, you were the one I wanted to meet the most. And you,
I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're pretty much exactly what I expected. So
pretty on brand. Yeah,
I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's not a lot of fucks given around me anymore. I've done my piece. I've done my bad shit and pissed people off and doing that. I just like to have fun, ride a bike, and have a beer or a Captain Coke or something and tell some stories and laugh. And I've kind of come to the conclusion now that being serious, or I don't know. I mean, you got to be serious. I need to make money. I need to pay my bills, like the kids. I got a wife, all that kind of shit. But like, fuck, man, you just gotta have fun and just be chill, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, that's kind of the way I try to live it now. And sometimes, yes, the liquor wins. The liquor does win. And
the way she goes.
The way she goes.
Yeah, the way she goes, Leahy. The way she goes, Leahy.
Yeah.
So, but otherwise, I like to. It's kind of funny. I was pretty focused in England, not focused, but like trying to not, like I didn't know how the time zones were going to bite me, and like trying to get sleep wise and stuff like that. Man, I should have just got shit faced for that Sunday race. It would have been way more entertaining being hungover, because it just ended up being long and the weather kind of bit it and the bike wasn't super good, and I would have had probably more laps and just throw. It would have been actually funny because like the staging area is like a real FIM race, right? Like you're sort of like in a blockade, so it probably would have made a few guys laugh if I was throwing up in there before the moto getting ready to go ride, right? So
yeah, Steve would have loved that,
right? Yeah, right. Well, I mean, who again? Just like the Red Bud Pit Bike of Nations. Who won that race? Nobody knows, but everybody remembers what I did.
That was a hell of a weekend. Yeah. Did you have no one?
I was just gonna say although the weirdest thing that I saw all weekend was we were standing there with Kiefer and Aiden. And, Dark had to have his shirt off all weekend because he wanted to show off, the bod and the tats and all that stuff.
Yep,
and
that's what it is.
And Kiefer walked straight up to him, pulled out his pants, and just, looked down at his underwear and just looked down there and just checked it out. And I was just kind of, we were all just standing there.
He had came up and Kiefer acted like he was crying when we were leaving, and he hugged him.
Yeah,
and then he backed off, and then he was like, oh, there was not even a twitch or anything. Come on now.
You guys went ball to ball?
No. No. We just hugged. We were hugging it out, man, and he pulled my whatever.
See, this is why Gauld doesn't like hugs.
Kiefer, man.
This is why he doesn't like hugs, because it leads to Kiefer looking at your balls.
Hey, I got like half of a hug from Gauldy.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
I was pretty pissed about it too.
Kiefer, he draws the line a little bit. He's like, again, the hockey analogy goes over your guys, but there's a lot of nudity in the hockey dressing room. I feel like Kiefer would fit right in there.
Yeah.
Oh, he would.
Yeah.
He would love it.
Yeah, for sure. So
you missed Hudson Turd taking me out though.
I read a tweet or something about that, or maybe it was an Instagram post. So yeah, what happened there?
Well, we're gonna do a cold call on him in a few minutes. But yeah, so
nice.
After the wall jump, that left hand sweeper.
Yeah.
Right. So he was outside of me, and I passed him going down the hill and went into the corner, and he decided he was going to try to pass me back. So he cut over, and the track was a little slick in spots, and he tapped the front brake and slid into my front wheel. I then fall into him on his rear tire, and he's still going. So he just sucks me up inside the rear tire and the fender, and he just chews my pants and my leg, my side up a little bit, and. Yeah.
That's what I saw. I saw the post on Kiefer's somebody's pants, and I'm like, what the hell was that?
Yeah, he shredded my pants. It ripped my heart rate monitor off. Inside my jersey, yeah. So, dude, the kid.
Wow.
You got to frame those pants.
I had him sign them and they're in the shop, but he felt so bad. Like, I thought he might cry or standing on the track. He was, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. And I was like patting him on the helmet. I was like, it's okay, man. It's okay. And he.
You should have grabbed him and just folded him like a
I can't, man.
That would have been. No, I know, but that would have been like, look at everybody pointing up. Look at it's Dark Side. He's beating some kid up. Look at that.
Like Tony Alessi and Tony Alessi Lasergate.
Yeah.
They didn't call Shorty the smiley face assassin for no reason.
So I got back on the bike and he rode to the next corner and pulled off, and he keeps looking back at me. I was like, I waved him. I was like, let's go. We're gonna let's get back on the track. Let's do some more laps, and it was fine.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm just not wired.
You're serious about this stuff, Aaron. You're taking down Stevie, taking down Turd. You want to race? You're a racer guy.
Yeah, I didn't take down Stevie. Steve and I are about the same pace, man. But even Kiefer was like, you got to this is your chance. You can give Steve shit. He didn't jump the triple. I'm just not wired that way.
Hey, I was giving it to him in a text on Sunday when he's driving. I'm like, man, you got to feel bad about not jumping that jump. And he's like, you got to jump the jumps, right? You say it on your show, jump the jumps. Got to jump the jumps. And he's just like, I don't fucking do that shit anymore. I'm not doing that shit. So,
man, that 250F got my chunky ass over it.
Yeah, if you want to take down Steve Dark, you just got to go to a track with some jumps.
Yeah, that's it. He's like, well, let's go to Glen Helen. I was like, oh yeah, let's go back to the track where you're good, I suck. Because I said, why don't you come to Texas? And then Kiefer was like, that's what we need to do. We need to do one in California, one in Texas. I'm like, all right, I might be down for that.
Have a whole series, Dark versus Steve series, based around the country.
I like it.
Throw Lewis in there at some point. Yeah, Lewis wants to do it too.
Well, Gauld is.
Lewis does ride, right? Lewis does ride.
He hasn't rode since he was a kid, man. He doesn't. He doesn't.
Okay.
So,
all right.
I think Lewis would be willing to ride more than likely if there was no chance anybody would talk about it. If he could just go ride and be left alone. But if there's any pressure, he's like, I don't want to do it.
Yeah, it can be funny here. I'm just fucking garbage. I'm just garbage. Listen to him in his accent. I'm just garbage. Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be funny. That'd be funny to hear. I like listening to their pods, like him and Adam Wheeler there on the recap stuff. They make me laugh. They work well together. Like they feed off each other, and then you throw the accents in there, and it gets me chuckling. And I like listening to that stuff. It's pretty funny. He's a good addition for you guys.
I agree. He's great. I love the guy. So, but Gauldy, man, really appreciate you jumping on here. Honestly, it's always a good time to get to see you. I was very excited to get to hang out with you for the day. And hopefully we'll hang out again sometime soon.
Yeah, no, man. I bring your friends Spence and Scotty and Chase and Jamie, and we can all hang out and we can practice proper names to get the hangout session started. Maybe go around the circle. We'll hand the stick to each other. Okay, you can talk. Tell me where you're from. Tell me where you're from, how old you are, and what your name is.
Yeah, we need to make a trip to Canada for nationals next year. Like that needs to be a bucket list.
I'd be down for that for sure.
Dude, let me know. I got you guys dialed in. Whatever round you'd want to come to, get you guys looked after. And if you didn't bring a bike, I could probably find a bike to get you to ride on the Saturday for the amateur day. But yeah, I would love to have you guys up, man. It's always a good time on the Canadian side of things. Way more relaxed and laid back. and then we throw in some professional racing in there in the middle of all the fun.
I love it. Gauldy, thank you, man, for just being a cool dude and coming
guys.
on. All right, take care, Gauldy.
Anytime, boys. Cheers.
Yep.
Bye.
That's Ryan Gauld tonight, brought to you by Pro X. Appreciate that. We're gonna let me see if I can get Hudson on real quick.
Turd.
Yeah, turd. Let's see if he answers.
He's a pretty good kid.
Oh, he's awesome. We should bring him in through FXR. We'll see if he. But yeah. Okay. Let's see. We got him. Hudson, you there, buddy?
Yeah.
Turd. You are a turd.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hudson, can you hear me?
Hello.
Yeah, we got you. I'm just joking.
Oh my gosh.
So, how much did you have fun at the PulpMX ride day?
I had tons of fun.
What was your favorite part? Taking me out?
No, that was my least favorite part.
Well,
it was my favorite part.
We'll get to that. But no, really, what was your favorite part? How was it for you?
Probably riding with Kiefer.
Yeah?
Kiefer, that was fun.
I saw that. Y'all rode for laps and laps and laps.
And I rode with Gage Dunham, his super fast amateur kid. He was way faster than me. So I rode with him, and it was super fun, too.
That's the kid that you were kind of hanging out with that you and him watched Pike's Bike?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So tell me, how much did he end up paying you for that wash job? I thought it was like $20, but then it turned out to be like $100?
So he paid us $100, but I had to give my buddy Gage $50.
Sure.
He did half the work. So, and then we paid the Yamaha guy that let us use his hose $5 each. Then we came away with $45.
You got screwed on that.
Yeah,
we used the water hose all weekend for nothing.
We filled up the RV, washed our bikes, not for $5.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's only $5.
I don't know.
But and then I saw
It was worth it.
Yeah, I was watching the little video or whatever, and you didn't even clean the bike very good. You still got $100.
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
They did
Bro,
better
we
than
had
I
a
did.
hose.
Yeah.
We got a hose.
All right. Well, all right.
There was no power wash.
What'd you think of? You've rode Thunder Valley before, though, right? Well, yeah, you raced it. No, you didn't race it. Your
I
dad
raced it for a quart.
Yeah.
But we went under all the big jumps. We went through the tunnel and then went back on.
Okay. But
So it was just a 45-minute moto straight, just that track.
Yeah. But you had a good time. You're out there ripping on the 125 as your skills are improving and, yeah, trying to make me look bad, when you're passing me.
I don't know about that.
I do.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of Hudson's riding?
He's quick.
He was probably out there more than he probably
Anybody.
saw him more than anybody else.
Yeah.
So he definitely got the seat time.
A lot of laps.
I can only do about 2 or 3 laps of any kind of pace, and then as soon as I would kind of let off, then I'd hear that 125 back there, and then I'd see a 29 on it, and go ahead, buddy,
Go by.
He snuck up on me at coming up the start straight at that corner at the top of the hill. He snuck up on me on the inside rut. I didn't even hear him.
Yeah.
I jumped out of the rut, but didn't know where I was going.
Hudson, you do listen to some of the podcasts and stuff. So did you enjoy? And you've done this before, but did you enjoy the Friday night show with Steve and the banter with your dad? And and then your dad said that you weren't very thankful for everything he does. Sometimes, not really. He didn't say you weren't thankful. I think he said that.
What?
He said that you don't. You were sitting right there. He said he doesn't know if you appreciate how much he does for you with all the bikes and how you get all this stuff. So I want to hear, do you realize how lucky you are to have the opportunities to go to all these tracks and all the bikes and all the money put in? I mean, you appreciate that. You're a good kid.
Yeah, I totally appreciate it. My dad's awesome. And I think that he always says he doesn't like to ride moto anymore, but he's already preparing for Loretta's 25 is what he's telling me.
Yeah, he's going to have to.
So I think every time he goes to the moto track, he scratches the itch a little. But then every time he's leaving, we're like, I just want to go ride trails. And I'm like, come on, man.
That's good stuff. All right, let's talk about you taking me out. I want to hear your side of it.
Okay, so we come down where the Thunder Valley sign is on the very top of the track.
Yep.
We come down that hill. I was going to go to the outside. Dark side looks like he was going to the inside. Dark crosses the whole track. Stuff. I'm like, okay. And then I tried to cut down, straight to the next turn. I hit a massive slick spot, turning to basically where I was going to T-bone Dark. I tried to turn out of it and brake, and I just fully cleaned them.
Took my front wheel out. I end up in your back tire, and you're just. I don't think you knew what to do, and I didn't know what to do. I was just holding on.
Yeah, that was definitely the worst moment.
Hold on. We might need to get a little mediator going on here, because the way Dark told the story, Dark doesn't sound like Dark is claiming that he cut across the track.
No, I said I went down and passed him on the inside, and then he tried to cut back over on me.
Oh, well, it sounds like you should have stayed in the inside lane. Is what it sounds like.
I was taking his line away, and then I felt like he was trying to get me back, and then it went wrong.
Bro.
Yeah.
First of all, why would you cross the whole track into me? Like, I thought we were buddies.
Well, I didn't like hit you. I was just messing with you. You, on the other hand, I thought we were buddies. Cleaned me out and ruined the only set of fly gear I have left. Now I don't even have that.
What size pants are you?
Don't worry about it. I'm good. I'm good. JT will take care of me. It's all good.
32 pants? You're a 32 pant, aren't you?
I am a 32. Listen, you know too much about me, Hudson.
My dad's a 32. I might be able to send you some pants.
I'm going to get some used pants from Andrew Short.
Yeah.
No, but it really was a good time. I knew you were really upset about it, and I hoped I made it clear I was not upset. It was all good. It was just shit happens.
Bro, I was upset that you made so many Instagram posts about it. The world knows that I took you out.
Well, that's the payback. I was definitely gonna.
It's entertaining, man.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man. But I enjoyed hanging out with you, and I think I told your mom and dad this, that we're gonna come up with like a monthly segment on this show. We'll do like once a month, Turds Corner or something, where we get your opinion on something.
Turds Outhouse.
You want to do that?
Yeah.
My opinion on your riding is that it was way better than the regional, and you were ripping.
Well, I told you that, I've told you, I know I'm better than this. It just, first of all, at the regional, I need a warm up, right? I need to be go out for 15, 20 minutes, get through the arm pump, get comfortable. And you can't do that at those regionals. There's no practice.
I don't think you were super comfortable on that bike yet either.
Yeah. As soon as you get off the gate, it's 0 heart rate to 190 or whatever. It just spikes you. And that's what I found hard at my regional too. And I settled in good, and I was in fourth, and then just out of nowhere, straight over the bars, and I was like, well,
yep, it's over, huh?
I know, it's so hard. The regionals are so hard, and it's definitely a skill that you have to master.
Yeah.
And I still haven't mastered that, because I haven't done that many regionals. I've done 1 2 years ago that was just basically for fun, because I wasn't very fast at all. And this year I was trying to make it, and it was definitely hard.
Yeah, for sure. I've never done a regional or an area before either. This is the first time I've ever tried to qualify for Loretta. So it was a new experience, but I do feel, had I been able to ride that way, even if I had just done the triple at the regional, I might have actually qualified. Yeah, I might have actually qualified, because I only missed it. I don't remember how many spots it was, but all the guys that were outside qualifying were real close to me. So I think if I jumped that triple,
didn't you get 9th?
Yeah, I think so. And they were taking 7. I got 9th or 10th, something like that.
Take 6.
6. Okay, was it 6?
Yeah, I think it was 9th, and you.
Yeah. So I think if I had just jumped the triple, I know you were out there telling me to do it, and had I done that, I probably would have qualified. But yeah, it's all right. It's a learning experience.
Hey, but I was thinking about this today when me and my dad went to Trestle Park.
Yeah.
Mountain biking, and I was like, sometimes, for example, me telling you to just hit the triple, it's not that bad. And my dad's over here telling me, oh, just hit the turns with no brakes, dude. I'm like, I can't do it. And I definitely know the feeling you were in. And it wasn't for a lack of effort that I didn't feel like you didn't make it. You were almost just a little short. You needed an extra month.
Yeah, that might be true too. I need an extra month and a little bit more talent, but we're getting there, man. Next year's our year. You and I.
Well, let's go down there, and he can train you to get through the regional.
Well, he's invited me down a few times.
Let's go. I told him today I'll come down there and shoot some stuff for him.
But yeah, Hudson, that's gonna be our goal. All right, me and you, Loretta's 25.
Oh yeah, that'd be sick.
Would you want to do a segment on the show once a month, Turds Corner or Turds something? And we'll just we'll come up with a topic about a race, and then we'll get you to give your opinion on it.
Yeah, for sure. If you want me to.
Well, I wouldn't have asked you if I didn't. Ding dong.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna get it done, but I just want to get your side of the story and tell you, man. Honestly, it's always fun hanging out with you, and certainly no hard feelings. I love hanging out with you.
Sounds
You're a
like it
good
was
kid.
your fault. You didn't tell us that. You crossed the lines, man. That's on
listen,
you.
There's no.
I got your back, turd.
Listen to me. We're going down a hill. I go inside.
At least someone has my back.
Yeah, I got you, turd.
Whatever, turd. I'm hanging up on you now.
He made it seem like there was never an ounce of anything that he did wrong, but hearing both sides of the story, sounds like he's
passed, but I don't think he ever said
crossing lines, crossing the track.
There wasn't crossing lines.
Got a little bit of
went
blame.
down the hill, and I dove inside of him to take the line, and he locked the.
It's not how my man
Shut up,
turd said
Scotty.
it.
I'm about to mute you, Scotty, and hang up on Hudson.
Dark can't handle the truth, Hudson.
All right, turd. Great talking to you. Tell your dad, your mom, I said hi, and we'll see you soon. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
You're welcome. See you, bud. All right, that's Hudson Short, otherwise known as Turd. He's brought to you by FXR tonight. How about that? Okay, anything else with the Pulp Ride Day we want to get to before we do EVS picks for Charlotte? Any other things that stand out? We did mention, Chase mentioned the hobo or homeless guy. We don't know. So we're coming back
the unhoused person.
I think drugs were involved.
Something was involved.
We're on the interstate with a motorhome and a big trailer. It's pitch black out, and we're going through Goddard, Goddard, whatever. That's Goddard, Colorado. And all of a sudden, there's like two people that one's running out into the highway, literally on the interstate. They're on the shoulder. There's a flashlight, and they run towards the RV. And then I don't know if I couldn't see it that well. I just saw the light. You guys were yelling. Yeah, and then they pulled back.
They were standing there like they were just walking down the road. And all of a sudden, it looked like he just turned into the jolted.
Road. Yeah,
like right
towards us.
And then I don't know how we didn't hit him. I really don't.
Yeah. That would have ruined the trip. Let me tell you.
Yeah, it just made. Well, it would have.
It would have ruined his trip.
All jokes aside,
yeah, for sure.
all jokes aside, even then it would have cost us. We had a 15-hour drive home, and we were stuck there for 10 hours.
Yes, officer comes up. Yes, sir. What's your name? TJ Smith.
It's Dark Side.
Yeah, my name's Dark. Yeah. Dark Sides. DARK.
That was that definitely got the heart rate going. We talked about fuel. I think we almost ran out of fuel on the way to the track.
I woke up and was like, "Yeah, we've been on the fuel light for 30 miles." I was like, "What?"
Well,
no, he's talking about on the way back when. We passed a gas station.
Well, my story right now is on the way to the
track. Okay. The one on the way was worse.
Me and Spencer are driving. You two are asleep, and that RV has bars for fuel, like a signal bar on your phone.
Yeah, and
it's like 8 bars, and at 4 bars, you're half a tank.
Yeah.
But you go to 1 bar in about 10 miles, it felt like. Yeah. And with the road we were on, the towns were like 20 or 30 miles apart. It's out in the middle of Texas and right before you come to New Mexico. And we passed this town with half a tank. So Spencer's like, yeah, no problem. We'll go to the next town, and we'll get some fuel. And that's really where we need to switch drivers or whatever. So it seemed good. And all of a sudden, he's like, oh, shit, the fuel light just came on. And we're 20 miles from the next town with the fuel light on. I'm like, we're not going to make it.
Yeah. I woke up and I was like, rubbed the crusties out of my eyes and I just look out the front and just see highway. And I looked out at the speedometer and we're doing like 35 or 40. And I'm like, why are we going so slow? And y'all were like, because the fuel light's been on for about 20 miles.
Yeah. So we did make it. We're like, well, we got to be more careful.
Yeah.
And then coming back, basically the same thing happened. I'm driving. It's at 4 bars, and we're on that major interstate, and we all of a sudden the fuel light's on. I'm like, okay, we're passing a Love's, and Chase is like, fuck Love's.
Well, it was like $1 more than we paid, $1 more a gallon than we paid at the other place.
So we're like, we're gonna go to the next town. They were like, well, the next town's 30 miles away, and we're down to 3 bars, 2 bars, 1 bar. And he finds some gas station that's like, if you've ever seen like House of 1,000 Corpses or The Hills Have Eyes, we're driving through this town, pitch black.
Cheap fuel, though.
Yeah.
It's 5 miles, or I felt like 5 miles off the interstate.
I think it was 3.5. It was close.
But we're just like, oh shit, where are we?
Okay.
There's nothing open.
Oh,
the gas station's not even open. It's 7 o'clock at night. The whole town literally lights off. Like their electricity power plant shuts everything off at 7 o'clock.
That's rural Colorado for you.
Yeah. I'm like, we're fucked. The gas pumps are probably going to be off.
I was worried about that.
We can't get anywhere else. And thank God the pumps worked. And then
I will say so. Like, I'll give you that. The scenario looked pretty grim. Like, it didn't look like we had many options.
No,
and we weren't sure any because the gas station that we were going to was closed. It said closed, so we really didn't know. But Dark gives up quick. Like,
I go negative like this.
He was like, I was like, dude, we don't know yet. Like, we don't know that we're screwed yet. And because I'm laughing and he's getting mad at me for laughing. He's like, it's not funny. Yeah. We might die. And I'm like,
I think I said we might die. Yeah. I felt we were going to be stuck there all night.
And I was,
or
like,
tied up.
Like, don't never say never, right? Like, you don't know until you know. And look, we found a gas and we were fine. Like, we were totally fine. But yeah, you were losing.
Yeah, I'm picturing like the big, tall, bald guy from all those old horror movies that comes out and like, limping on one leg and he's, I got gas. Follow me to the barn.
Yeah.
Speaking of, if we wouldn't have went to that gas station, the funniest story of the trip wouldn't happen.
Yeah. So dude, tell that story.
Spencer walks, so we know it's closed. Dark Side's
I'm feeling
Dark Side's pumping gas or diesel, I guess. And Spencer's over there looking through the door. I'm like, what is he doing? And he like turns around, goes to walk back, and farts like the loudest fart I've ever heard. I heard it across the parking lot. And about 3 seconds later, the door opens, and I was like, I've never seen somebody summoned out of a closed store by a fart. And I know he walked right through it.
That's what got me. The guy was just making sure that we were like, okay, like, hey, he was checking us, yeah, man, we just needed gas. We were just looking in, and then he closed the door, and I'm over there dying. I'm like, that dude just had to have smelled fart.
Yeah,
I'm just like, you guys are idiots.
That was great. It was great.
Yeah, it was good times. Never
it was a good trip. It was a good trip. I'm glad we went.
Yeah, never a dull moment. Yeah, thanks for taking us.
So definitely next year, PulpMX Ride Day, wherever it is, you guys need to try to make plans.
It's worth it.
It's a really fun experience. I'm glad all these guys got to experience it. Last year, I got to do the Millville trip with my other buddy, Michael Gage. So it's really cool to go experience that and have here. It's not as much for us with the MotoXpod show, but we do have listeners that are like, hey, man, I listen to your show too. Really like what you guys do. And that means a lot to us. Steve's very jaded and doesn't care about his fans anymore, but we still do. So
maybe we could do like a MotoXpod scooter ride day or something. We don't have that many people.
I think we could do a ride day here in Texas, but we need to do it on a day when there's actually already something going on. Yeah. People aren't going to just show up for the MotoXpod show. Be like, we just show up at a track and not even tell them. Be like, oh yeah, by the way, it's the MotoXpod.
Yeah, we'll just add it in parentheses at the bottom of the race flyer.
Yeah.
Or we should do it at like a race, like a Loretta's qualifier in Texas, and just say, we had 2,000 people show up.
That's a good plan, man. Foolproof. Yeah, I like it.
And Lewis texted and said that Sasha's riding the 250, Liam Everts and Lucas Coolant are riding 450.
Okay. Nice.
So that's the deal. Okay, let's wrap this thing up with the EVS picks for Charlotte. Over the past 39 years, EVS Sports has established itself as a leader in innovation and technology when it comes to designing protection gear for today's motocross riders. Why are you laughing? We got something?
You remembering the story?
No. Hey, let me finish the read. Athletes like RJ Hampshire, Kyle Chisholm, Freddie Norton, and Axel Hodges and Travis Pastrana all wear EVS when they race, ride, or whatever Travis decides to do that day. Check out evs-sports.com and use the code VITALMX30. That's all caps, VITALMX30 to save and gear up like the pros. Get yourself some Web Eclipse knee braces, TP199 or Slayco 96 knee guards. Or if you're going to go to Thunder Valley, get a chest protector because the roost hurts. EVS picks for Charlotte are coming up. What are you laughing at?
We were talking about the trip, and someone on the chat said, did Dark sit in the middle and ski?
Okay. I don't know why that's funny.
Yeah, you do.
I don't. I mean, I know what it means.
Sitting in the middle between two guys.
Yeah, I know what it means, but I don't understand why that would be funny to that butthole listener of ours.
It made me laugh. I appreciate it.
That's because you're a hater.
It's not aimed at me, so it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay, EVS picks for Charlotte SMX 450 class. I'm going to go Sexton, Jet Lawrence, Eli Tomac. That's my podium.
I put Sexton, Jet, and then Hunter. I think he's kind of underrated. I mean, not that he's underrated, but it's his rookie 450 season, and he's doing this well.
We're going to make TJ's picks for him. TJ's going to go Jason Anderson,
Grant Harlan,
Malcolm Stewart, Grant Harlan. Yeah. TJ's an idiot.
Stop acting like an idiot. You're the idiot. Don't be an idiot. Changed my life.
Scotty, what are your picks for Charlotte?
I'm going to go. I really want Chase to win, but I'm going to go. Since to be different, I'm going to say Jet.
Okay.
Jet, Chase, AP.
All right. Not bad picks. I thought about AP, but I threw Eli in there. I thought about Hunter. All I know is I'm excited, ready for this race. I wish we were going, but we won't be. We will be in Fort Worth in a couple weeks. So if you guys are coming out to that, let us know. We'll try to meet up, say hi, something like that. Anything else before we wrap the show up?
We're going to do 250 picks too.
No, we usually just do 450s.
Okay.
I mean, we can. Sure, let's just do it spur of the moment. Why not? Go ahead.
I think I'm going to do RJ, Deegan, Kitch. I think RJ is going to come back swinging.
Scotty?
Didn't we already do this earlier in the show?
No, I think I said
for the overall.
I think I said something about
for the season.
Yeah, it was for the overall.
Season. Okay.
I think I was just asking like who you thought were. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We can repeat things.
I'll go Deegan, RJ, Chance.
Again, MotoXpod@gmail.com. Send your podiums in, 450s, 250s, and yeah, maybe here we go. If you guys send your emails in to MotoXpod@gmail.com and you get the 450 podium and the 250 podium, so it's pretty tough, I'll get you a FXR prize of some kind. Yeah, if you know what, if you live outside the continental U.S., not happening. Sorry,
I was about to say, just make it for U.S. only.
I got to make a note, dude. I got to get him some freaking socks.
So they're not in the mail, huh?
Yeah.
Well, they must have got lost.
I thought you sent them like 2 months ago.
They must have got lost,
Yeah,
dude.
lost.
I'm sure they got out of U.S. territory, no problem, and then they got to freaking Australia, and they drive on the wrong side of the road, probably.
Kangaroo. Yeah, there's a kangaroo that has a new pair of fly socks.
I'm going to send them some socks, so I'll stop hearing about this.
I'm going to go Levi, Deegan. Man, I don't know. It's tough. Hymus.
Hymus is good.
Yeah.
He's really good.
MotoXpod@gmail.com. Get both 250 and 450 podiums for Charlotte correct. I'll get you guys a FXR prize pack. Other than that, I think we're out of here. I want to thank RaceTech and Yamaha Motor USA for presenting the show. I want to thank Guts Racing, FXR, X-Brand, Pro X, EVS Protection, Evans Coolant, Barnett Clutches, TBolt USA. Fun show, guys. We'll be back next week. I don't know if TJ's back. Even if he is, we may not let him back in. We will do a show next week. The week after Fort Worth, probably no show, but we'll talk to you guys next week.